Welcome, everybody. Everybody. Except you. Yeah, you. No, you're welcome too. Hello, and welcome to Watch a Leafs Game with Steve Dangle. I'm Steve Dangle. Click like, click subscribe, tell all your friends, for goodness sake. Tell all your friends that this is the last time we're going to be doing Watch a Leafs Game with Steve Dangle together for the regular season. We're back for the playoffs, baby. Woo! I don't think I've actually announced anything formally. I don't know if Sportsnet has either, but yeah, we're going to do these for the Yoffs. We're going to do them for the playoffs. They're going to last a while. They are. They are. They are. I don't want to hear that. I know it was 8-1. I know. What was the score before? Is that exactly? It was 6-something. You remember that? I think it was 6-2. Last time the Leafs played the Tampa Bay Lightning. So what that tells me is what you can take from the last two Toronto Maple Leafs Tampa Bay Lightning matchups is nothing, which is helpful for my anxiety and the heart coming out of the chest. We got a fun game tonight. We got a fun lineup tonight, and here's why. Austin Matthews is in it. Hooray. Always better with that. Bunting, Matthews, Marner. We're back to basically everything normal up front. Bunting, Matthews, Marner, McCabe, Tavares, Kerfoot, Nylander, Kampf, Engvall. Here's where it's interesting. Clifford, Blackwell, Simmons. Is Jason Spezza not going to be in the night one lineup for the playoffs? Because I have a really hard time imagining that. I think what it ends up being is Simmons on the left, Blackwell in the middle, Spezza on the right. But Clifford's been playing a lot, and he has not been playing poorly. In fact, last game he played in, I believe he scored. I know he scored recently. Brody Hall, Riley Labushkin, Giordano Liljegren. I was expecting someone to come out of the lineup because the Leafs called up Carl Dahlstrom on an emergency basis. I assume that is more to do with Muzzin than anything. Jack Campbell getting the start tonight. Eric Shelgren still, I'm going to say recuperating from last game. He deserves it. Panthers. You know what's amazing? Tell me if I'm wrong. This does not strike me as the first place team in the league on paper. They are. They super are. I'm not taking shots, but on paper, I'm like, really? Huberdeau, Barkov, Duclair. That's a disgusting first line. Marchment, Bennett, Giroux. Okay. Mamine, Lundell, Sam Reinhart, Lomberg, Lutzterainen, and Achari. They are missing Carter Verhaeghe. That's important. The back end is very good. Sherratt, Weegar, Forsling, Montour, Carlson, Gudis, remembering that Aaron Ekblad is probably going to rejoin the team at some point during the playoffs. My bet would be game one of the first round because hockey players are the most crazy, and Bobrovsky is starting tonight. If last game was a screw-around game for the Leafs, this game cannot be. It absolutely cannot be. But the Leafs might have a bumpy little landing here heading into the playoffs. They just got creamed 8-1 by Florida. Not by Florida, by a team in Florida, Tampa, taking on Florida tonight. Now they got a back-to-back with travel. Panthers tonight, Capitals tomorrow. That is an awful back-to-back. That is really, really not fun. Two teams who know how to score. They know how to hit. They're not tiny, and they're not afraid of you. That is not fun. Tuesday, they take on the Red Wings for the Leafs' second last home game. And then what could either be a nothing game or the most eventful game next Friday, Leafs taking on the Boston Bruins. And I'm going to be there, baby. Here's the thing. If the Leafs take on the Tampa Bay Lightning in the first round, I think it's a fair bet that the Leafs and Bruins both take that night essentially off. However, if the Leafs end up taking on Boston in the first round, there are going to be crimes. That is, don't look at the score. The score does not matter that evening. It's just about crimes. Unless the Leafs' end of the season is as rocky as I said it is, or said it could be, and they're potentially playing for home ice. Fun. A lot of fun. Super cool. But tonight is tonight. Leafs taking on the Panthers. Matthews back in the lineup. And maybe, the last few games we've been focusing so much on the playoffs. Maybe we can focus back on the road to 60. Matthews is still 2 goals shy. There's no guarantee he plays tomorrow. Second half of a back-to-back. That's a big one. You can't be like, oh, yeah, he's going to get it in Detroit, or, oh, yeah, he'll get it in one of the home games. You got to score. You got to get there as soon as you can. Hopefully, whatever injury he had, the Leafs never disclosed, isn't bothering him anymore, or at least as much. By the way, ask us questions in the chat. Ask questions in the Chattington, and I will get to them. Potentially. Not all of them. That would be miraculous. Could you imagine if I did that? From producer Rob. Producer Rob is helping me with the questions. Astro says, what was wrong with Matthews? So they said it was a new injury. Which is useless. What the heck does that mean? He had a wrist injury this season. He has previously had he got a concussion. Remember that time he ran into Morgan Riley? That wasn't fun. Separated shoulder, I believe, that hit with Jacob Trouba. And before he was drafted, I believe he had some back issues. So is this a new injury in terms of the NHL and it's an old injury? Or is this a new injury, like he's blocked several shots recently? Is it a knee problem? Best practice, don't guess. Aaron, will Matthews get 60? He has to. He was such a demon, an uncontrollable demon. Before he sort of went, the slump feels longer because he didn't score, I want to say, for 3 games, and then he sat out 3 games. So it feels like he hasn't scored in an eternity. But before that 3-game quote unquote slump where he still got a bunch of assists, I'm pretty sure, he was a demon. And I think we're going to get Matthews in demon mode tonight. Warrior, do you own anything signed by Gretzky? Yes, I do. So I made a journal entry about playing. There used to be this, a Game Boy, Well, this was, how do I describe it? It was like a Game Boy specifically made for one game. And that was the only game you could play on it. It was a game that had Wayne Gretzky in an LA Kings uniform on one side and Brett Hull in a St. Louis Blues uniform on the other. This is it. So I got it printed out. That's how I used to draw when I was a child. I was like 6 or 7 when I did that. And I got to meet Wayne Gretzky. This was a few years ago. This was at the World Cup of Hockey. So 2016. And he signed it. Great job, Wayne Gretzky. I think he thought I was getting the sign for my child. No, Wayne. This is for me. So the game has started. I thought I was speaking for a long time, and I'm sure you did too. We are working on getting a hold of the game feed. We're obviously having technical difficulties. There's nothing wrong with having the game on and then listening to your boy as well. We can just have a little chat, a little chit chat. Yeah, we're on it. Mark, oh boy, what are the Golden Knights going? Are the Golden Knights going to move on from Leonard? Well, they're not going to move on from the regular season. That is becoming more and more apparent. Robin Leonard looking like an injury that is going to keep him out of their little playoff push here. I think if the Vegas Golden Knights move on from Robin Leonard, it sends a terrible message, and it confirms every negative thing that has ever been said about that franchise. How on earth does anyone put down roots in Vegas? Like, I know it's a tourist destination and everything, but these are professional athletes. You got to be able to raise a family there. You got to be able to buy a house there. Like, how many of these Golden Knights rent? What is the point in getting a mortgage in Vegas? This isn't just a Robin Lehner thing. They traded the Vezina winner for nothing. Name the guy who Marc-Andre Fleury was traded for. He's not in the show. He was never going to be in the show. So moving on from Robin Lehner a year after moving on from Marc-Andre Fleury, at what point do you move on from the general manager then? Because remember, they've never fired one. He just got kicked upstairs. So, okay, so there was a problem with the truck. We have the Florida feed now. So instead of watching the Hockey Night in Canada feed, we're going to be watching the Florida feed until further notice. Who knows? Could be all night. But there you go. There's the game. And luckily, we haven't missed any goals. Here we go. Never mind. There's one. Hey, right on time. Mitch Marner. Always on time. Love it, buddy. Love it. Right there. 35th goal of the season. As Matthews pursues 60, Marner is on his way to 40. Ooh, Panthers coming scary close there. TJ Brodie rips it off the boards, and Marner, one-timer off the boards, gets the puck stuck in the net. Heck yeah, legendary start. More of this, please. And the Leafs are up 1-0 on what is apparently the first shot of the game. The Leafs and Panthers played 3.5 shotless minutes to start the game. Who had that on their bingo card? Who had anything that's happened on the stream so far on their bingo card? Holy cow. All right. Well, that's neat. Welcome, everybody. Watch the Leafs game with Steve Dangle. I'm Steve Dangle. Click like, click subscribe. Tell all your friends. If you're just joining us, we had some technical difficulties getting a hold of the feed of the game. We have fixed that or rectified that by getting a hold of the Florida feed. Obviously, we'd prefer to have our own feed. Oh, here's Willie. Oh, that was a great opportunity. I believe Kyle Clifford there. Kyle Clifford again. And he is stopped. Woo! What a start to this game. Yes, as I was saying, I believe we would like to have our own feed, as in the Hockey Night in Canada feed. If we can get to that later, obviously we will. But for now, I mean, you saw the goal, didn't you? Kyle Clifford getting a pass from William Nylander. That can't have happened too many times.
So we'll next be with you on Tuesday night in Boston, where the Panthers take on the Bruins, then in Ottawa, Montreal.
In the fourth line,
playoffs will start
on the ice, Kyle Clifford with the winger win that Florida got immediately.
To be determined. Right now it would be Washington, but it is so
that's obviously a big thing with the fourth line. Is the Leafs, I think all three lines have at least two guys who can confidently take faceoffs and perform well at them. And having Blackwell out there with Spezza would give you two, but as we get a whistle. Is Mark Giordano in a Leaf uniform still weird to you? I like it. I'm not saying it's bad. It's just very strange. Matthews. Oh my God. 58 goals in 70 games. You're silly. You're ridiculous. You knock that off. Actually, don't knock that off. Please continue. As the Panthers win it, but win it too hard. 5 minutes gone in the first period. Leafs up 1-0. Panthers don't have a shot on goal yet, although I do believe they hit the post.
At the end of the day, the goalie's got to stop him, and that's not easy to do.
I'm definitely... Oh, Matthews almost getting a tip there.
Here's Matthews in behind the Panther net.
I'm definitely overthinking this, but I would like to see a post counter to go with the shot clock. Marner, not afraid to use that shot. He knows it's a weapon. Partial 2-on-1, but Brody scampers back. And the Leafs manage to avoid disaster there. Marner passing it to a ghost. Jack Campbell, if you're a goaltender, help out your friends. Oh, Tavares taking a nasty spill there. Is that Nola Chari?
Lit up the other day when I asked, is this your time of year? You go, oh yeah, this is my time. I asked Chari about the differences between this team.
Tavares takes a beating, man.
Made the cup final, and he said there were many. Said this group just loves coming to the rink and working every day. Chari's Bruins made Game 7 of the cup final, losing that one to Boston. 3 Leafs bang low to the Leafs.
I've never seen a triple team hit. What is this, the Mighty Ducks?
Comes all the way back.
Yeah, just what you expected a lot.
How did that result in anything other than a Panthers goal?
Toronto,
by the way, I regret to inform you, a bunch of you have been lied to. You see this mug? It says best brother ever. I'm sure some of you have been told that you're the best brother. It's actually me. Sorry. It's on the mug. It's on the mug. Leafs dump it into the Panther zone. Bobrovsky, if you're a goaltender, screw it up. He didn't screw it up.
Well, right, going into the end of next week.
I wanted him to, though.
Health is number
would have been funny.
You want your starting lineup to be 100% healthy, and then good feelings and the confidence in all parts of your game.
Leafs playing tight here. Oh, never mind. Here comes Florida. Oh, just never talk. All right, we're going to get our first break. When we come back, the Leafs try to build on a 1-0 lead. I'm Steve Dangle, and this is Watch a Leafs Game with Steve Dangle. Click like, click subscribe, tell all your friends. Watch a Leafs Game with Steve Dangle. I'm Steve Dangle. Click like, click subscribe. Tell all your friends that while Austin Matthews is hunting down 60 goals, Mitch Marner still hunting down 40. Unlikely he pulls it off just based on the numbers, but he's been one of the better goal scorers in the entire league since the new year and since the All-Star break. Man, it all changed. Like one night I tweeted, like, Mitch is such a pass-first guy. I wish he would be more selfish. And people were chirping me, and, oh, no, he just doesn't know how to shoot, blah, 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 blah. He scores, like, on the power play, like, 5 minutes later. And I was like, feeling pretty good about myself. And then he scored again. I'm like, look at me, I'm a genius. And then he just sort of did that for several months. And here we are. Leafs, 4th place in the entire NHL, having like the best season ever. Michael Bunting rips a one-timer on Sergei Bobrovsky, but is stopped by the glove. The Panthers, over 7 minutes into this game, still without a shot on goal. Although I'd argue maybe 2 scoring chances. Just neither of it made it into a spot where it could be stopped or a goal. This is in Florida too. There have been 4 total shots through 7.5 minutes for a Leafs-Panthers game. I would never expect low-event hockey from these two. Leafs bunching up a little bit there, and the Panthers have numbers, but stripped by Austin Matthews, and they come the other way. There's Mitch. Oh, up to Bunting, but he just wasn't quite ahead enough. Friendly reminder that the Leafs game against the Lightning was 0-0 after 1. So I wouldn't read into the start too much. That's all I'm saying.
Sam Bennett on the ice for Florida, along with Mason Marchment and Claude Giroux.
Oh,
getting it to Marchment back, and that's stopped by Campbell.
That was interesting from the Panthers. God, they're a wacky team. Jack doesn't have a stick right now. Stop. Yeah, see? Changes in a hurry, doesn't it? The Leafs get it deep.
Started off of a hard forecheck, 2 guys in on Littleton, turned the puck over.
Several times already tonight they've gotten it deep.
For Campbell there in his first 2.
Seems to be the game plan against the Panthers. Puck bouncing around in the slot. Kerfoot gets it back to the point. Lyubushkin, goal scorer! Oh! Oh! Imagine calling that! Ah! By the way, this is the Hockey Night in Canada feed. I don't know if you noticed that. See, it's back! Hooray!
Up ahead it goes to center. Camp can't catch up to that. And
technical difficulties, nevertheless.
And now back down into the Leaf zone.
Only tough people rest.
Good-looking rookie center for Florida. 5th in rookie scoring. Out there for the Panthers, but it's Engvall back through center for Toronto. On to the right side where
apparently Michael Bunting has gone to the Leafs locker room. Saw him fall down behind the Panthers net. That's the last time I remember seeing him. Always err on the side of caution at this time of year, but losing a pretty significant part of the top line the Leafs have, and one of the best lines in hockey, would be pretty bad. TJ Brodie's going to get beat here, but Panthers didn't quite have enough to go for the wraparound. That's not going to be a trip. Panthers punches and bunches here. They're not at 0 shots anymore. Leafs have been playing a pretty decently tight game so far, especially along the boards. Oh, the Panthers got a great chance right here. What a stop by Campbell, and they'll turn it back up the other way. 4th line pressuring, but they need to get off the ice is what they need to do. That was a tough shift from them, but they survived. Austin Matthews now out there.
3 or 4 minutes, and he has been razor sharp.
As the Leafs break it out. Ooh, Liljegren taking it for a bit of a walk. Oh! Matthews had a tip there. Leafs hold it in. Willie is now out there with the big line. I don't think he'll object. But the Leafs' 3rd line is a huge part of their success, and here come the Panthers. That one took a weird bounce, but it went wide. Marner to no one. There's going to be some chemistry issues, methinks. Tavares out there now. Hoping Michael Bunting is okay. If you're just joining us, Mitch Marner scored just a few minutes into the game off a one-timer off the board. But Michael Bunting has gone to the locker room. I would love to know how many rush opportunities Ilya Lyubushkin had with the Arizona Coyotes, because I've seen him crash the slot a few times as a member of the Toronto Maple Leafs. Whoa! Panthers going for a big hit there. Picked up there by Tavares. And now Riley deflecting it. It's an interesting game, right? 2 teams who they know they're both making the playoffs. They know there's a chance they're going to see each other, but they know they're not going to see each other in the first round. So what do you prioritize? All right? Of course you want to lay a beating on them. But if you lay a beating on them, they'll lay a beating on you. That's exactly what happened with the Leafs and Lightning. Of course, the Leafs got destroyed on the score sheet, but there were a lot of bumps and bruises coming out of that game. Why did so many players block shots on both teams? Holy mackerel. So, 1-0. Watch the Leafs game with Steve Dangle. I'm Steve Dangle. Click like, click subscribe. Tell all your friends, you silly geese. I like this question. It's not hockey related, but I like this question. Herms, any Scotty Barnes thoughts? Love him. Love him. Absolutely love him. Rookie of the year in the NBA. And just intense. And he matches the city. He matches the city and he matches the team. He matches a Masai Ujiri team. I know Masai is a few levels away from what goes on in the court. I know there's Bobby Webster and then Nick Nurse. But it sort of starts with him, doesn't it? They got a guy who wanted to be here. Not a high percentage of Raptors fans wanted that draft pick. They wanted Suggs. But look at him. Rookie of the year. And if he's fully healthy, who knows? This 3-1 series that the Raptors made 3-1 today could be a little different. Although Philly's been... The 76ers have been very good. Embiid was a bit in his feelings, though. Ooh, the refs. They did their job. What's that, Joel? The NBA conspired so that the Raptors would win? Canada. Instead of the Philadelphia 76ers with Joel Embiid and James Harden. The NBA is like, no, we need OG Anunoby. Are you out of your mind? Shut up. Big baby. God, I hope. No one has come back from a 3-0 deficit in the NBA. But if someone could do that right now, that'd be cool. I believe in the Raptors, man. I would love to see it. Anyway, back to hockey. Leafs up 1-0 on the Florida Panthers. Probably shouldn't have put so much emphasis on how the Panthers didn't have a shot, because now they have as many as the Leafs. Michael Bunting went to the locker room a few moments ago. No word yet on if he is returning to the game. But I will keep laser vision on the Leafs PR account. Oh, here comes Mitch. He waits for reinforcements and it works. Matthews! Ah! Come on! Matthews does not look like he's missed several games, does he? He doesn't quite get all of that. Man, does this team look so different with him in the lineup? Sheesh. Games are just more fun to watch. Like, whether they win or lose, there's always something. Something could happen every single time he hops on the ice. You're going to see something exciting that you're just not going to see from most players. That's just what it is.
Florida Panthers charge to win the President's Trophy. Here comes Kerfoot over the line, dropping it off, getting it back. Kerfoot in behind the net.
Oh!
With a shot, knocked out in front.
Hey! Rebound!
Wide. Close call there from McCabe at the back door. It'll be Hall again.
Justin Hall gets it to Ilya McCabe, rings it around the boards. The Leafs have had the Panthers deep, deep, deep in their own zone for several stretches already in this game. And Sheldon Keefe dictating his will over this game. Wayne Simmons left way alone. Way too much time, and he gets the play in order. Gets it to TJ Brody. Panthers will finally break it out after a long shift. No, they don't. David Kampf holds it in, and the Panthers still have to work. Some tired legs out there. Kyle Clifford with the puck. Gets it to the point. Leafs hold it onside. Off the end boards. Panthers have got to be dog tired. Oh, hold it in there, Tim. And he does. Giordano and Liljegren playing keep away at the point. This is a spectacular shift. Giordano can't quite get that one, and the Panthers will go for a desperate change, but the Leafs, I believe, kept a body or two on the ice for the Panthers. And the Panthers have no choice but to... Is that going to be icing? Yes, it is. Wow. What a clinic. Great shift by the Toronto Maple Leafs. Exhausting for the Florida Panthers. And now the big boys are out there on the ice.
Austin Matthews looking for number 59, gets a good chance here, but I mentioned
Mitch Marner. Here's another look at Austin's scoring chance. Blackwell out there with him. Willie Nylander getting the ozone start in place of potentially injured Michael Bunting. One of the questions, I believe, from Lois is who do you slot in for Michael Bunting? I read that question several minutes ago, trying to cheat for time to come up with an answer. I do not have one. That is really tough. I don't know, man. I don't know what you do there. Nylander, Kampf, Engvall has been so effective. Oh! Clifford coming so close to scoring a Bobrovsky there. He's had a couple scoring chances in this game. Watch the Leafs game with Steve Dangle. I'm Steve Dangle. Click like, click subscribe. Tell all your friends. So the question is, if Michael Bunting is hurt, who do you put in his place? Oh, man. I don't have a great answer because who brings what he brings, right? So you got to be tenacious. Ideally, you'd like to have a left-handed shot in there. But even if we don't get picky about that, the problem with the team that's playing so well is you don't want to screw up the chemistry of the other lines. But that's a very big hole to plug, and you're probably going to have to. If Michael Bunting is injured, does it make any sense at all to have William Nylander on your third line? Oh, boy. I think what I might try is McCabe up on the top line, and then you put Nylander with Tavares and Kerfoot, and have Nylander and Kerfoot switch wings, which you have done before. Your third line can then be... Oh, boy. You see how it becomes a problem? Kind of becomes a problem. Kampf, Engvall, Blackwell? Kasha comes back, and this becomes a much easier conversation. But until he's back, that's very difficult. There aren't a lot of players in the Leafs who bring what Michael Bunting brings. There aren't a lot of players in the National Hockey League who bring what Michael Bunting brings. Jay, are you nervous yet? Are you excited? Well, okay, let me get this shot of espresso down me. And I'm sure I'll be more nervous after that.
Can't help but think about Saturday night, so special in the 70s.
That's a strong play there from the Panthers. I'm not nervous. I am somewhat excited. You know what it is? The regular season, I can't look past games. Because if I look past games, like if I looked past tonight, you'd be like, this stream sucks. Like if I wasn't paying attention and I was telling you how much this game doesn't matter for 2.5 hours, the stream would suck. If I didn't take any LFR video seriously from now until the end of the regular season, how likely would you be to watch game 1 of the Leafs' first round series against whoever? You know what I mean? So I'm not focusing on it too much. And a goal! Justin Hall? Or Engvall? Cameras zoomed in on Engvall, and that was a brutal play from the Florida Panthers. Just like Moses there. The sea parted. Look at this. Ew. And Gudis, soft as linen. Oh, that's going to be Justin Hall's goal. That goes off Radko Gudis and in. That is Justin Hall's goal. Gudis very upset. Wait till he finds out there's no water in the water bottles. And the Leafs, in the first period here in Florida, on the first half of the back-to-back, are up 2-0. That is a good start. It is better than losing 8-1. Ah, Marner looking for the tip. Oh, that's never a good result. Marner batting the puck out of midair, but it lands right back on Huberdeau's stick. But Jack Campbell gobbles it up. Calms things down. 2 minutes to go here in the first period. You know what? Okay, so sorry. We saw that set behind Cabby there. It always throws me off because every time I see that set, I stare really hard. Because what happened was the pandemic happened. I never went back to the CBC studios. Then the Hockey Night in Canada studios at CBC moved to Sportsnet at Yonge and Bloor. And with it went the ice surfing set, meaning they had a bunch of my stuff. So a bunch of my stuff on the Hockey Night in Canada set that you see in various segments, including that one with Cabby, a bunch of those pucks, those are mine. You ever see the, oh boy, that's a big double hit. You ever see the clover in the background, the framed clover with the, it says PQ? That's a Pat Quinn crest, and it's mine. Tavares! Oh, almost setting up McCabe for a goal, and the Leafs look great. Leafs looking great in this first period. The Panthers getting by them a couple times, but other than that, the Leafs have been by far the better team. Certainly a, well, you can tell you didn't get the best of the Leafs last game. McCabe not really getting a ton of that shot. Take care of the rebound. Ozone face-off here, 95 seconds to go in the first. Leafs fourth line, other than one shift where they got hemmed in, have been very effective. They draw an icing there, and if you're Sheldon Keefe, do you send them right back out for the ozone draw? Or do you go to the big boys to end the period? Man, Ilya Mikheyev was cursed last year. 1 goal on 44 rushes. Ugh. He's been a little bit better this year, huh? Oh, who's that dumped in front of the net? Gudis dumping Clifford. Is Gudis having a bad time? Seems like he's having a bad time. Oh, who's going with Simmons? Is that Uyghur? Lundberg. Panthers are having a bad time. They're not having a good night. He doesn't like it, does he? So far. Gudis especially. Oh, yeah, he just gets the takedown in front. His argument out Clifford holds his stick, but the arm is already up there. So Gudis is upset that Clifford took his stick, and he's not wrong. I would argue it probably was interference, but if you're Gudis, you probably want Clifford to go too. I'm not saying he's right, I'm just saying he has a point. Does that make sense? Can you have a point, but you're wrong? I'm going to say yes. Leafs have a power play to end this first period here. Oh, and they could make it 3-0. John Tavares stopped by Sergei Bobrovsky. That was a great opportunity. Matthews. Oh, Bobrovsky with another big save on Mitch Marner, who loves to shoot. Not a thing you could previously say, but you can now. Mitch Marner, sniper.
Just a couple of excellent aggressive saves there coming out high.
The Panthers looking to kill the clock here. Jack Campbell, nope, doesn't keep it alive. We get a whistle. That's a shame. Still don't have an update on Michael Bunting other than he's in the Leafs dressing room.
After a bit of a slow start, here's just a couple of beauties.
I'm sure at intermission they'll show his last shift. Here's Marner's attempt again. Bobrovsky having to be very sharp on that play. Leafs come up with the puck. 40 seconds to go here in the first. Watch a Leafs game with Steve Dangle. I'm Steve Dangle. Click like, click subscribe, tell all your friends. Austin Matthews with the puck.
Over the line, Tavares. Flipping it back to Riley, and Nylander's got some room. Down to
20 seconds to go here.
Had trouble with that against Forsling. Flipped high back down to Tavares.
I think Matthews is going to get called for the slash, and we get a hook.
Hooking penalty. And Matthews says, who, me?
Man, this has been a big problem for the Leafs lately.
The hand area.
They have negated a bunch of their power plays in recent memory by taking penalties of their own. Hard to tell if he got in the hands from that angle, obviously.
Going to make the play.
Probably.
See the positioning of the official down in the corner. Matthews doesn't like the call, but we've got a little 4-on-4.
Matthews doesn't take a ton of those.
The last 17.6 here of the period.
Doesn't take a ton of penalties. He probably screwed up his any chance he had at the Lady Bing when he cross-check Rasmus Dahlin in the head. Generally speaking, I don't know if the Lady Bing winner has ever been suspended. But as the clock winds down here in the first period, the Leafs had a pretty healthy one. Shots 12-8, score 2-0. Toronto Maple Leafs up 2 goals over the Florida Panthers in Florida to start the first half of a back-to-back and to start the final Watch the Leafs game with Steve Dangle of this season until the playoffs, which that's next week. So, or no, it's not. What counts as next week? When do you think the week starts and ends? Anyway, the last one of the regular season. We'll be back for the playoffs. We got some Sportsnet original content coming at you, and you're going to love it. I know you will. So, my name is Steve Dangle. This is Watch the Leafs Game with Steve Dangle. Click like, click subscribe, tell all your friends, and enjoy.
Well, right now, as you watch the Stanley Cup playoffs, you are privileged to watch Guy Lafleur, the Canadian, the man many say is the finest hockey player in the world today. He is tremendous when it comes to scoring goals and lighting the red light. Now look at the many talents of Guy Lafleur.
Et ensuite jusqu'à la fleur, belle feinte et ensuite il poursuit sa course au but et s'il marque. Un but spectaculaire, un des plus beaux de l'année.
It was all there in those moments of exquisite anticipation. The acceleration up the right wing, those smooth, powerful strides, and of course, the hair. In the days before hockey players became anonymous helmeted warriors, blown back as if by a Hollywood wind machine. No one called it a flow in those days, but his was the granddaddy of them all, suggestive of only one thing: speed. From the stands in the Montreal Forum, the chant would begin, like a collective pulse, building in intensity towards a glorious climax. Guy, Guy, Guy.
Sometimes one has talent and one is good at what one is doing. There is always a tendency to coast along. But you seem to continue to be hard on yourself.
Yes, because hockey, it's only 15, 20 years, and I want to be the best, that's why.
You want to be the best?
Yes.
Aren't you the best?
So far.
The Club d'Hockey Canadien has its own pantheon, a gallery of icons who came to represent the team's eras of greatness. Tragic Howie Morenz in the 20s and 30s, fiery Rocket Richard in the 50s, stately Jean Beliveau in the 60s, operatic Patrick Roy in the 80s. and the greatest player on arguably the greatest Canadiens teams of them all in the 1970s, Guy Lafleur.
Looking at the decade of the 70s, I don't think there was another player, a skater for sure. Obviously, Guy as a forward was #1 in that era.
Long gone by then, in theory, were the days when the Canadiens controlled by birthright all of the best players from the province of Quebec. There was a draft, and the two worst teams by record at the conclusion of the 1970-71 season, the California Golden Seals and the Detroit Red Wings, would normally have had their choice of not one, but two Quebec-born prodigies, Lafleur and Marcel Dionne. Lafleur had become a star in his home province before he became a teenager, dominating the famous Quebec Pee Wee tournament 3 years in a row. He graduated to the Junior Quebec Rampart, and in his final remarkable season, won the Memorial Cup and scored 130 goals in 62 regular season games. To see him in a Golden Seal sweater would have been, well, unnatural. But that's what would have happened, but for the genius of Sam Pollock.
From the Quebec Ramparts, Guy Lafleur.
The Canadiens general manager pulled off what is remembered as one of the most lopsided deals in NHL history, swapping first-round picks with California the year before and throwing in veteran Ernie Hickey as a bonus. Pollock knew who was coming. After some deliberation, he chose Lafleur over Dionne, and for the first few seasons, that seemed like a terrible mistake. Dionne was immediately an elite NHL scorer, while Lafleur chafed under coach Scotty Bowman, who kept him away from the top lines in the power play, and wilted under the tremendous burden of being anointed as Beliveau's successor. Following his rookie season, he didn't receive a single vote for the Calder Trophy.
Guy, for me, he had a few hard times like everybody else, like me, when we started with Montreal Canadiens, because sometimes we don't play enough. And that's what happened to Guy. But the first practice I saw him with Montreal Canadiens, I said, wow, what a player that's going to be.
Lafleur won his first of 5 Stanley Cups with the Habs in 1973. But it was the 1974-75 season that represented his real breakthrough. The first of 6 consecutive seasons in which he scored 50 or more goals and ascended to the level of stardom to which he had long seemed destined.
I think for any kid growing up in the 70s in Montreal, and to see the Montreal Canadiens win Stanley Cup after Stanley Cup and having Guy the best player in the world, and the excitement that he brought to the game. He was my idol, and always wanted to be like him, play like him, and do some of the plays that he did, and certainly enjoyed watching him in the 70s.
3-on-2, Montreal break. Lafleur shooting.
That collection of Canadiens won 4 consecutive Stanley Cups between 1976 and 1979. Lafleur led the league in scoring for 3 of those seasons, and twice won the Hart Trophy as the league's most valuable player. He had finally earned his place among the immortals.
There's something about Guy when he speaks, everyone listens in Quebec, and he's still, he's above the word legend over there. Every uncle I had, my grandpa, everyone that you know, he means so much to the people over there. I think people took it for granted how many times they won the cup there, you know. Now you realize how hard it was. So I think because of that, the legend's even gotten bigger and bigger. You know, there's something, like people that were living in that era now can go back and realize how lucky they were.
It ended badly for Lafleur in Montreal, just as it would for Roy years later. The Habs dynasty was long finished by 1985, and Lafleur's skills had significantly eroded. Jacques Lemaire was coaching the team, and his defense-first philosophy was antithetical to Lafleur's attacking nature. He asked to be traded, but general manager Serge Savard knew that the fans would never forgive him if he did. Left with what he believed was no alternative, Lafleur retired 19 games into the season. He finished and remains the all-time leading point scorer in Canadiens history.
Well, I never doubted in my mind that I was not able to score 40 or 50 goal again. It's tough enough to read the paper or heard people talking when you're going to get out of your slump, things like that. So that's why I decided to retire. It's one of the reasons why.
By the time he returned for a late career swan song with the New York Rangers and Quebec Nordique 3 years later, Lafleur had already been inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame. The only others on that list, Gordie Howe and Mario Lemieux. But for flashes, he was no longer the player burned into so many memories. Still, if you closed your eyes and used your imagination, you could conjure him up. You could remember those nights at the Forum when he got the puck and flew down the wing and the crowd rose expecting magic.
Probably an underappreciated Maple Leaf at this point.
Sammy, anything on that before we critique Jack Campbell?
No, I like the way that he takes the puck from zone to zone too. He's good at that. He's good as a transition player. Head up, gets the puck out of the zone. I don't love his hands. Bit of a stone hands from time to time. Don't love his one-on-one stuff he does with the goalie because he gets breakaways too. But other than that, I really love his passing, and that was a great call by Kipper. So I'm all good on Kerfoot.
All
right. Jack Campbell, last 5 starts, 5-0, 240 goals against average, 907 save percentage, at least trending in the right direction.
Yes. Do you want to start with Keefe before you and I give our opinions?
Sure. Let's go to Sheldon Keefe on Jack Campbell.
He was locked in. I mean, it's terrible that we had breakdown there, turnover, forced the issue to give up the second goal, but he was excellent. It was great to see. We gave up more shots than we would have liked today as a team. I think if you talk to Jack and you talk to the goalie coach, Steve Briere, you want those shots, you want that work, and especially on a night when Jack's feeling it the way that he was. So that's the biggest takeaway I'll take out of the game today is
he can't pump his tires more. They'll burst. They'll burst.
Peak. Roberto Luongo and Tim Thomas.
But can you blame the guy? It's Jack or nothing.
Yeah. And last night, so you weren't as high, maybe quite as high on him as Sheldon was. I thought last night he looked energetic. He looked.
Well, Liljegren gives up the puck on the JVR first goal. A big rebound in the middle of the net. And then you tip your hat off to a great shot for the Flyers' second goal. No different than Liljegren's, very good shot over Jones' left shoulder. But listen, just make the saves that you're supposed to make.
Yeah.
He does not have to be first star every playoff game, but the average is every other game that you have to be the best player on your team, if not top 2, to get to a Stanley Cup final.
I feel like he fell so far confidence-wise that it wasn't going to be a thing where he could go out and make, who was it? It was probably Mike McKenna on our show who said, forget which goalie it was on our show who said it takes one bad goal to strip you of your confidence, but it takes 100 good saves to get it back.
Curtis Joseph.
Oh, yeah. That guy, I've heard of him.
Yeah, I think he's played, right?
Yeah. And that's what I felt from Jack was that to get to 100 saves, you have to make the first one and the 13th one, the 22nd. Like, this is the start of building towards that 100 for me, where I felt better about him last night. He got across post to post on one-timer that's maybe going wide, maybe not. But he gets across and he's in the right spot to make the save even if the shot is on the net. I just liked his movement more last night. You know what I saw last night from him too? Is when he makes a save and he's feeling so good about himself, he needs to give someone else credit and tapping his D and going.
He's been really consistent with that.
Well, has he been even when he's been crummy?
Yeah, I think so.
I feel like I hadn't noticed it as much lately. So last night, giving a great job to someone who had nothing to do with the play. It's like that's the Jack that was playing well for this team. So.
And are you okay with him not starting against Tampa Bay tomorrow night? We don't know. As far as I haven't heard anything on it. I don't know if anything was said today or last night.
I heard it theorized that he would play tomorrow night and then play on Friday or Saturday as well, and then Sunday off. Do you think that's too much if he does that? Kind of go every second day here against good teams, and
I don't know if it's necessary.
Mm-hmm.
I probably wouldn't play him against Tampa Bay and give him Florida.
I think it's years ago since you weren't allowed to acknowledge that the other network exists, but it was Ferraro on the broadcast last night who said it. He thought he was going whatever, and I thought it seems like a lot for Campbell right away. But I guess
he's been off for how long? Right, 4 weeks.
And actually, this is what happened last time. Remember, he was off for a long time, then he came back, and they gave him 4 games in 6 days, and all of a sudden he was hurt again. You don't want that to happen. So which game would you rather see him? I guess he's got to play one of the back-to-back. So, yeah, to have him take off in Tampa Bay and give Shalgren that one. I think that's my choice.
I was like
after
this
talking
the other
through it with you.
And I felt this way 24 hours ago, but then all of a sudden the odds went up that, Sammy, you ready for this? The Boston Bruins will be the Toronto Maple Leaf opponents in the first round and not Tampa Bay, based on last night's loss to Detroit for Tampa Bay and Boston's win over St. Louis.
So we're sitting here doing the show yesterday, and there's a 22% chance Boston is the Leafs' opponent.
And today?
42% chance you're getting the Bruins. In fact, if you're the Bruins, if you go to the Bruins and see who their most likely opponents are, it's actually the Leafs, because they have a bigger variety of opponents it could be. Their most likely opponent is the Leafs. So Tampa's still barely more likely than Boston, but yeah. And now you can't help but feel like, as a Leafs fan, I would say, well, don't let us miss the chance to get Tampa. Tampa's flailing. Boston just beat the Blues. They're rolling. I know you never want to wish to get the Lightning, but I don't know. Sammy, who do you wish?
Sammy, they still scare the heebie-jeebies out of you, don't they, the Boston Bruins?
Doesn't matter. It honestly doesn't matter, boys. Like, the way the Leafs are playing, the way the season's gone, it just doesn't matter.
Watch a Leafs game with Steve Dangle. I'm Steve Dangle. Click like, click subscribe, tell all your friends. Now, usually I tell you, the viewer, to leave a comment or question, more likely a question, in the chat, and I will answer them. But here's a question for you. How's your teeth? Feeling good? Feeling intact? Feeling like they're in your head? I'm not sure Michael Bunting feels the same. So we were trying to figure out why Michael Bunting did not play the last chunk of the first period there. There was a clip going around. Looked like he had a bit of an awkward fall. We thought that could have been it, but we weren't totally sure. Tic Tac Tomar on Twitter, essential follow, essential, found him falling down, and while he was down, a puck hit him right in the mouth. So, like, not good, not fun, but also, like, your teeth are a little easier to fix than a, MCL. Does that make sense? Your teeth are less important to... Listen, hockey players have been losing teeth forever, and they just deal with it. They use it as a badge of honor. But the MCL, not so much. The ACL, I don't know. All I'm saying is heading into the playoffs, I'm not happy he got hit in the mouth. I'm just saying I'm happy he didn't hurt his leg. Does that make sense? I feel like that should make sense. You should know what I mean. You know what I mean? We're coming back in just a moment. 2-0 Leafs here at the beginning of the second period. A few questions. Oh, never mind. Well, I'm going to do them anyway. Oh. So, from producer Rob, Michael Bunting will not return to tonight's game in Florida. I mean, that makes sense. It's precautionary. And here come the Leafs. And they... Oh! Oh, no! That's a dang it! Oh, boy. Someone's got to send that to producer Drew. I've never seen someone fall down into the goalie without taking a shot on a break. Oh, Morgan. Oh, dear. Oh, no. Florida now with an abbreviated power play.
As the Panthers get set for their
For
first power play
50
tonight.
seconds.
10 for their last 20.
Oh, my God. Please clip that. Please, someone clip that. If the Hockey Night production truck does not show that replay at the next whistle, we riot. I want to see what happened there. 30 seconds to go here. Panthers could score, and we don't want that. Huberdeau stopped. No, not Huberdeau. Doesn't matter. Leafs clear the puck. A lot of empty seats. Oh, boy. It's okay. It's not like it's the Leafs in town or anything. Here come the Panthers. Ooh, wide.
Barkov with 4 goals in his last 2 games. Hat trick against the Islanders. And a power play goal against Detroit.
By the way, if I ever screw up a player... Oh, never mind. Here come the Panthers. And Matthews... Ah! How did he miss that? As he buries his head in his hands. There's another dang it. The second period's full of them. We're only 2 minutes in. We're averaging a dang in a minute. Here come the Panthers. It's out of the net. Leafs break it out. If I ever screw up a player's name... because I look for the numbers, but then the number gets scrunched up. The worst is when I see one scrunchy number. 1 followed by scrunchy number. Because then it could be anything from 10 to 19. Engvall chipping it deep.
Now it's Mackenzie Weegar flipping it in on the backhand.
Geez, non-stop action here to start the second period. Leafs doing a good job of pestering the Panthers with their sticks. Anyway, they haven't cleanly broken up very much, but they've been doing just enough to prevent scoring opportunities. There's the graphic up there in the top left. Michael Bunting will not return, but here comes Giordano. Not afraid to shoot it. He has really changed the makeup of the Leafs back end. Oh no, Morgan! Looking like me out there. That's what you get for chirping me in the David Ayres video. How's it feel? How does it feel, Morgan? Wow! Justin Hall stopped that. That is the current points leader in the National Hockey League. The Justin Hall just robbed with a leg save. And the Leafs get a power play. And the Panthers are super not happy about it.
Florida net. A little back and forth. It just first. Yeah, it started with Bennett and then coming in and
I think that's the right call. What on earth happened there? I mean, obviously getting very upset with Colin Blackwell. And that is a great illustration of what you can and can't get away with. They were shoving each other. He even got a bit of a face wash, bit of a punch. Nylander stopping Bobrovsky. And it was from two different guys. And the ref was like, this is fine. This is hockey. This is normal. Mamine comes in, third guy, throws his glove off. Yeah, sorry, bud. You can't do that.
Telescopes out, able to grab that one and hold on for the face-off.
And Nylander's been hot of late. Leads the Leafs with power play points at 30. 8 goals in his last 11. Riley's shot looked like that cut down Tavares in front of the net. Centered here for Nylander. Matthews shooting, and he just missed. Sent that wide. It comes around for Marner with his 35th in the first period. Austin Matthews right on. Kicked away by Bobrovsky, who is settled in that Florida net. Marner again. Riley back to Marner. In front, Nylander. He finds Matthews, and again misses wide far side, and it this time bounces back into the Leaf zone.
Yeah, twice there from almost the exact same spot. Good play by Nylander, just using the net as a screen and a little saucer pass right to Matthews.
Pass just out of the reach of Marner, who would have been loose. And we're into the second minute of the Mammon penalty. Riley at the wheel. Matthews.
I got too excited. Sometimes when I get too excited, my camera freezes. Hello. Steve Dangle here. Watch the Leafs game with Steve Dangle. Click like, click subscribe. Tell all your friends. The Leafs have 40 seconds left in this power play. They lose the zone, and the second unit will come out.
A wise choice to change, too. This is a penalty killing unit that can score.
30 seconds to work here for the second unit. Panthers bat it down, but it actually works out pretty well. Blackwell out there to try to get a goal on the penalty that he drew, but the Panthers find a way to clear it. And the Leafs only have 10 seconds to... Whoa, Jack! 10 seconds to get it out of their zone before the Panthers get reinforcements. Maxim Mamine, they ill-advised penalty on Colin Blackwell. But here come the Panthers. Leafs managed to avoid that penalty box jump. That's too much time and space for the Panthers to work with. They get it in front, try to get a greasy one on Jack Campbell, but it's knocked into the corner. Leafs trying to clear the zone. Can't do it. 5.5 gone in this second period. Leafs still up 2-0 on Florida in Florida on this, the first half of a back-to-back. Tomorrow they got Washington. And does anybody think Washington will take it easy on Toronto? Whoa! Another big stop from Campbell. He has been sharp. The Leafs again cannot clear the zone. And Campbell again bailing them out with a glove save that he holds on to. And we're going to go to break. And I could use a break after watching that. I can only imagine how Jack Campbell feels. Click like, click subscribe. Tell all your friends. We will be right back. Don't go anywhere. Watch. What's it called? A Leafs Game with Steve Dangle. I'm Steve Dangle. Click like, click subscribe. Tell all your friends. If you're just joining us, you've missed out on a little bit. Mitch Marner scored. That was a lot of fun. Justin Hall scored. That was even more fun. Then he also made a pad save. Yes, Justin Hall made a pad save. That makes sense. That's the thing that happened and makes sense. And Justin Hall with his third goal and 22nd point. Both of those are career highs. Thank you to producer Rob for finding that, because I wondered, and apparently it's true. Mike Babcock has so much to answer for. Dude, that guy played 11 games. Like, people rag on Justin Hall, including me, but the fact he has any kind of NHL career at all after that experience, I think, is a testament to the kind of guy he is. Super popular teammate. And here comes Mason Marchment, former Leaf. What a move! Oh, and the Panthers score. Barkov finishing it off. And I don't remember seeing those hands on the Marlies. Holy cow. The former Leaf and Calder Cup winner, Mason Marchment, absolutely dazzling dangles past the Leafs. Justin Hall in there deep. Never compliment him. Never, ever. That is William Nylander getting danced like prom. Goodness gracious. Jack Campbell with the poke check, but that leaves the net wide open for Barkov to bury it. And the Panthers are on the board. It is 2-1 Leafs still, but remember last time these two teams met, Leafs had a 5-1 lead. Didn't hold on to it too well. They lost. But here comes Matthews. He's got Marner with him. Matthews shoots. Stop up Bobrovsky. Tries to chop it in front. Doesn't work.
Barkov with 39 now. Duclair up ahead, and that reaches Huberdeau back at center ice, and Matthews gets on that.
I shouldn't call him out, but producer Stu just burped right in my ear. Sometimes I think you all can hear what I hear. And if you did, you'd be like, did Steve just... No. Producer Stu. Oh, man. Anyway, so 7-something into the second period. Leafs still up 2-1. But a dazzling goal from the Panthers gets them on the board. And I'm amazed that it took until the second period for me to mention that the Panthers came back against the Leafs last time. Giordano can't get it through. It feels like tonight, every time the puck has been anywhere near David Kampf, the thing is just vibrating. So, Colin Blackwell... Whoa, never mind! Colin Blackwell, as the Leafs try to clear the zone, it looks like is filling in on the third line. And I believe William Nylander has moved up to the top line because Michael Bunting is out. Sheldon Keefe obviously getting the blender out. He'll, have different... I'm sure he'll have different lines for different situations. Offensive zone, defensive zone, after the power play, after the penalty kill, etc., etc., etc. And he's probably going to get this guy as much ice time as he can. Matthews, wicked shot. And that snuck. Nearly snuck, I should say. Under Bobrovsky's blocker. That shot is blocked. Leafs break it out. Again, the Leafs content to just have the Panthers in the muck by getting it deep. That has not been nearly as effective. Good stick from Hall. The Leafs getting the puck in deep has not been nearly as effective in the second period as it was in the first. Leafs got to watch the too many men here. I hate when the puck is like that, just bouncing around in front of the Leafs bench. Team with the most bench minders in the NHL. Puck is right by their bench. What could go wrong?
declined the comparison. He did make the point that he admired
You tried.
Datsuk's defensive ability as well.
TJ Brody, you set up the first goal of this game, getting the puck way down, turns it over. Matthews holds it, though. Panthers find a way to get it out anyway.
I mean, it's really been remarkable just how
Nearly halfway through the second period, and therefore halfway through regulation. Leafs still up 2-1 on the Panthers. Justin Hall almost getting obliterated with a big hit there. Is that Lomberg? Phew.
Here's a lead feed for McCabe. Puts on the brakes and
McCabe, good stop up feeding Marner. Matthews, McCabe, Marner, didn't I say? In the first period, didn't I predict that? Could just be a line change and I wasn't paying attention.
Ricocheted to Achari, who clears the zone.
By the way, ask questions in the chat. I will get to them. It's Leafs and Panthers. It's kind of been high octane after a really slow start.
The midway mark of the second period. Florida, the second highest scoring.
Jay Anthony asks, who is your Western Conference dark horse? Man, the entire Western Conference, pretty much. You know what I will say? Calgary's not a dark horse. Calgary is a favorite. I think people are sleeping on a potential series of St. Louis and Minnesota, and I think both those teams could go far, but saying one of St. Louis or Minnesota is a bit of a cop-out. Can I put the Oilers as a dark horse? I feel like no one thinks they're going to do anything, but right now they're slotted to face LA in the first round in the 2-3 matchup for the Pacific. Whoa! No Leaf in sight. Oilers are slotted to face LA. And a couple weeks ago, I would have told you I really like LA there. And whoa! Oh no! Leafs had a 2-on-1 and Kerfoot fell down. Watch out for the blue line. What happened there? What's going on in this game? Every Saturday is a circus. Good Lord. Anyway, my dark horse is the Oilers because no one seems to believe in them. A couple weeks ago, I would have said LA has a really good shot at beating them, and they still do. But now that LA is down Drew Doughty, that's all of a sudden become a much tougher matchup for the LA Kings. Jay Woodcroft has really changed the Edmonton Oilers for the better. The question remains, will they get goaltending? And you don't know until they start the game. Andrew Hammond was basically undefeated when he was the Hamburglar with the Ottawa Senators. And I'm sure if he just simply stops everything, they'll win every game. Didn't work out like that. They ducked out in, I think, 5 games against Montreal that year, 6. Still cool that they even got there at all. I'm Steve Dangle. This is Watch the Leafs Game with Steve Dangle. Click like, click subscribe. Tell all your friends. Ella, do you have a favorite vegetable? Cheese. Lactose-free cheese. A potato is a vegetable. Is there anything wrong with saying a potato or an onion? I don't know if you can tell. I don't like salad. And it's because it tastes like sadness to me. I don't like salad dressing. I don't like these leaves that you're making me eat. I love the leaves. I just don't like the leaves that you're making me eat. And making them wet is not making them more enjoyable. Dude, I'll have vegetables. I'll have some asparagus, Brussels sprouts, broccoli. I'll have all my greens, beets. A lot of people hate beets. I'll eat beets. But that's food. You know? That's food. You might say salad has this in it, that in it, that in it. No. Those are things you put in the salad to make it food. But it's just... Leaves suck. The Leafs are great. But leaves... Ugh. I'm going to say potatoes. Because that's all of your answer. Unless you're a liar. Is tomato sauce a vegetable? Here comes Matthews! Is tomato sauce a vegetable or a fruit? What if tomato sauce is a vegetable, but tomatoes are fruits?
But here's one that's won back cleanly. Brody sliding and just making sure he gets it through right off the skate.
Matthews almost... I'm curious to know if that would have counted.
Tough corral there for Matthews and Bobrovsky.
And the Leafs get an ozone draw against Tampa. I forgot there was a game going on. Now I'm hungry. Just not for salad. Love a piece of fruit. Love vegetables. Don't like bowls of leaves. Panthers pressing, and they just lose the handle. It's amazing how not crisp the Panthers have looked tonight and how good they are regardless. I don't think this has been a work of art from either team, and yet they both look elite. Jack Campbell, another glove save. He's had that glove going tonight. Robbing Claude Giroux, and he can't believe it.
Let winter beat you.
He can't believe it.
Out the cold with
Who are you?
From Honda, official vehicle.
And he probably just said, I'm Jack Campbell. He's kind of a nice guy. I'd like to stop by. Oh, that's a nice question. Salsa says, how is Iggy? Iggy is my dog, who is named after Jerome McGinley and the Golden Goal. He is a golden doodle. Iggy's great. He's 7 now. He's kind of old, but he doesn't act like it at all. A little bit. A little bit. Our neighbor has a golden doodle, too. We have a hole in the fence. And so they come and visit, and I'm reminded, I'm like, oh yeah, Iggy used to act like this. Like a maniac. Oh! Leafs doing a good job clearing the slot. Anyway, Iggy's good, he gets lots of treats. Here comes Morgan Riley. Don't fall down. Oh! Tavares and McCabe getting into a double hit there. What's going on here? I think we're going to get a whistle behind the play. Is this McCabe's first career fight? What on earth? Who is that? Who's he going with? Sam Bennett? Ilya McCabe's first fight was Sam Bennett?
I know Bennett doesn't mind getting his nose in there and chirping and getting under.
I don't know who told Ilya that was a good idea. This is a dude with a surgically repaired wrist against one of the more underrated fighters in the game. Oh, I think Bennett was upset.
And now you got some jawing, you got some pulling, and
Bennett was definitely upset because of the double team from McCabe and Tavares. And McCabe absolutely doing the smart thing by pulling Bennett in as close as he could and then falling down. I would stop looking at him, Ilya. Listen, I appreciate what you did. You're a big guy. I'm happy for you. That's enough. That's enough. And now for the next 5 minutes, a dude who was actually temporarily replacing Michael Bunting on the top line won't be there. So the Leafs digging real deep on the left side there. No Bunting for the rest of the game and no McCabe for the next 5 minutes. Basically the entire second period, depending on whistles. McCabe's either going to play a lot of the last 2 minutes of this period or none of it.
Flips it to the near side corner. Engvall after it. Reinhart pinned. Reinhart with 5 goals in his last 8 games and leads all NHL players.
Leafs break it out, and they got numbers. It's not going very fast. Here we go. Willie with the puck shoots. He's had an absolute bullet recently, but that is stopped by Sergei Bobrovsky. What an eventful game.
On the play on the left side of your screen, there for a split second, the passing lane was open, and it looked like Nylander took a quick look and tried to maybe look it off and get Bobrovsky to move, but instead hit him right in the Panther logo in the middle as Giordano was waiting for that one, hoping as he jumped.
Every time I see Brandon Montour, who may very well raise the Stanley Cup this season, get his name etched into the Stanley Cup forever, and have a Stanley Cup ring. But whenever I see him, I'm reminded of when he was on the Buffalo Sabres and Nazem Kadri, who was then on the Leafs, said he was a... How do I say this without saying all the swearing? He said he was a bad hockey player on a bad team. But he had a bunch of nasty words in there. Whoa, that was a key poke there, because the Panthers had numbers. but the Leafs will break it out. Nylander out there with Marner and Matthews. Big hit thrown at Nylander. Marner corrals the puck. Matthews, Gronk! Oh, come on! The Panthers scored such a nice goal. I need the Leafs to get one that's equally as hot. And that's offside. And it's going to go down into the Leaf zone because the ref told you don't do that, and then you did it anyway. Matthews on Forsling. Boom! Everyone forgets how huge he is.
Lyubushkin was looking past. He was deferring to Matthews the whole way. He might have been better suited to just grab that one. No question that was a surprise physical play. Matthews sprung on Forsling.
Forsbergian. Very much. 6:08 left here in the second period. Leafs had a 2-0 lead after one. Barkov's cut that advantage in half. Kyle Clifford with a steal down in the Florida zone. But out come the Panthers. Jonathan Huberdeau. Sam Reinhart looking to get it back to Huberdeau. Taken to the boards, and there's Lundell. Back to the line, and a glove stop by Campbell off that Mackenzie Weegar shot. And we will step aside here in Sunrise with the Leafs leading 2-1.
I'm back. We don't know what happened, but I'm back. Watch the Leafs game with Steve Dangle. I'm Steve Dangle. Click like, click subscribe, tell all your friends. I'm trying to sort through your questions here. Kevin, do you trust Campbell in the playoffs? Yes. Yes, I do. He gave the Leafs no reason not to trust him last year. I mean, you could talk about the Leafs' problems against Montreal in that collapse, and I don't think Jack was prime among them. He did allow the one stinker in Game 7 that everyone remembers, and, I mean, it's hard to ignore. It was the worst goal he allowed all series. It was the worst goal any goalie involved allowed in that series, and it just so happened to open the scoring in Game 7. So that's not fun. That's the opposite of fun. But I trust him. I had a hard time trusting him at times this season, but since his most recent comeback, he's been A-okay. I think he's been A-okay. As long as the Leafs give him a little bit of help, play some solid D around him, he's at very least adequate. At very, very least. Is he going to be better than, if he goes up against Andrei Vasilevsky? Well, no. But who is? Andrei Vasilevsky, I would say, is the best goaltender in the NHL. Year in and year out, he's the best goaltender in the NHL. But do I trust Jack as the Leafs starting goaltender? Yes, I do. Cody, how are you? How was your day? It was good. I went to Reptilia. Got to show my toddler some snakes, turtles, tortoises.
That's given them, I think, the feeling that it's time now to make that.
And his favorite part, you guessed it, the slide.
That series high octane. There's a short side stop by
which he went up and down 20 or 30 times, and he is sleeping peacefully. It's great.
The difference there was Bobrovsky. He had a real struggle.
Pierce, best goal you've ever seen in person. Does the golden goal count? I saw the golden goal in person in 2010 in Vancouver. If anyone remembers the one-handed tip Matthews had against the Ducks, saw that live. That's a penalty. That's easily a penalty, and probably a worthwhile one from TJ Brody. Wes McCauley. 2 minutes. You can't do that. Jonathan Huberdeau very upset he didn't get to finish that. If you're wondering if that was the right decision to make, taking that penalty, Huberdeau's reaction should give you everything you need. He doesn't want the power play. He wanted the goal. Now, they might get a goal on the power play. That'd suck. And the Leafs don't have Ilya McCabe, a pretty key penalty killer for them. So this is going to be a tense 2 minutes. Hopefully.
And he scored in 65 of the
Hopefully it's a tense 2 minutes, because if it's anything less than 2 minutes, it means the Panthers scored, and that's not good. That or there was a power outage. The goal is more likely. See? Florida Panthers tie the game on the power play. TJ Brody, thanks for coming out. Takes the call on Jonathan Huberdeau, and he prevented a goal. He delayed it by about 5 seconds. Panthers win the faceoff. Barkov to Huberdeau. Sauce pass to Giroux. Blasts it. I don't know if that tipped anything. And the Panthers, with another multi-goal comeback against the Toronto Maple Leafs, a 2-0 lead, is now a 2-2 game. I think it might have gone off the inside of Mark Giordano's leg. And so the game begins anew with 5 minutes to go in the second period.
And 61 points for Giroux. 8th time he's had at least 60.
Oh, Willie. Probably lucky to not take another one there, but the Leafs give it away in their own end. Coming apart a little bit here. They're missing 2 guys. They're missing half of their left wing at the moment. They'll get McCabe back in a couple minutes. This is a bit of a disorganized mess here. The deeper we get into this game. The deeper the Leafs got into the Tampa game didn't go so good either. As the Leafs ice the puck. We will get a face-off in the Leafs' end. Oh boy.
Congratulations to the Lloydminster U13 Female Blazers, the 2022 Chevrolet Good Deeds Cup champions.
It's not quite like last game. The last game
Jack, would you go to more Jays games? Yes, I absolutely would. Here's the thing. I'm going to the Leafs game next Friday, and I desperately need the Leafs to win that game, because I have not seen a Toronto sports team win a game in person since February 2020. It was the Leafs game against the Pittsburgh Penguins. That's the most awkward offside ever that apparently wasn't offside. The Leafs shut the Penguins out 4-0, and we were all so happy about how good the Leafs were. And then the very next game, they lost to David Ayres and the Carolina Hurricanes. So, anyway, that was the last time I saw a Toronto team win live. I saw a CPL soccer game. York United lost. I've seen 2 Leaf games. Leafs lost both. One was the outdoor game. Remember when they won 14 out of 16 for a stretch in November? Yeah, I saw one of the 2 losses against LA. Trevor Moore scored. And the Jays, I saw their first loss of the season when they were up 6-1 on the Texas Rangers and then blew it. Is that going to be interference? It is not. Campbell with the stop. So the reason I need the Leafs to win that last game of the season on Friday is I would like to see the Leafs play in the playoffs, but if they have not won a game with me in the building, I don't know, that's tense moments. Campbell with the stop. Florida crashed in the net, which was a big part of their comeback last time. Fourth line doing their best to fight him off. Wayne Simmons, get on your horse, bud. Gets into the corner, and he comes up with the puck.
Wayne Simmons to the line for Brody. Brody with 2 assists.
You're going to need a little bit more out of your fourth line. Missing so many guys.
To Hall and across. TJ Brody in deep for Simmons. Couldn't control the ricochet. And
I believe the next whistle, Leafs can get Ilya Mikheyev back. Almost wonder if they should just go for the whistle. Jack Campbell going for the Norris. Playing the puck like that. Oof, Maroon. Pittsburgh beat Detroit 7-2. Did you see that on the out of town? Ooh. That's tough. That's a tough day. Oh yeah, the Leafs lost 8-1 like 2 days ago. My bad. Sorry, it was a long time ago. It's 2022, man. Life moves fast. Less than 2 minutes to go here in the second period. Leafs once had a 2-0 lead. It is now 2-2. Leafs looking to get that lead back. But here come the Panthers.
Here's the Florida captain Barkov to an open side. Forsling jumping.
If you're just joining us, Ilya McCabe fought.
Didn't have a goal until
that was the thing. There was a total of 1 punch thrown. Kerfoot just tripped over the blue line again. Is there like a string? Is Johnny Knoxville in the building? Just waiting for him to cross the blue line. Hey, Kerf! High five! Is that a penalty? George Peros be like $5,000 fine. Maybe. $2,500. And with about 30, we're going to say 37 on account of the clock kept going there. Under 40 seconds to go here in the second period. It is 2-2. Ilya Lyubushkin with a no-no there. He's lucky that one didn't cost them.
But he's able to get a piece of it, and here's a hard takedown as Brody. You said Artie had lost his stick, now loses his glove, and just happy he didn't take a penalty and able to get back into the play.
Nolachari has been a sneaky, decent pickup for the Cats.
The clock here. Did read 35.9, but half minute remaining now. And the face-off.
Final seconds of the second period. A goal here would be huge for either team. Oh, Jack doing a good job of trying to grow 2 extra legs there. He didn't know whether he was coming or going. Leafs in full-on survival mode right now. This is not good. Less than 10 seconds to go. Just survive. Survive. Justin Hall delaying. And that'll do it. Oh, boy. As we'll probably get a little bit of a dust-up here at the end of the second. Well, Leafs with a 2-0 lead after 1. We'll say Panthers win the second period 2-0. The third period will be the rubber match. Ilya McCabe with a bee in his bonnet this evening. And I want to see that person tweet that video of Claude Giroux, because that was... You could see it on their screen! That's amazing! Sell it to Hockey Night. Ask for a lot of money. Watch a Leafs game with Steve Dangle. I'm Steve Dangle. Click like, click subscribe. Tell all your friends. We got some Sportsnet original content. You ever go to make a bowl of cereal and then you put the milk in the cupboard? Oh yeah, buddy. Hello, friends. Steve Dangle here, and welcome to everyone's favorite day of the week, Thursday, because it's time for another edition of Steve's Dangits, where we take a look at the biggest dangits from around the NHL over the past week. I want to get the Leaf one out of the way because to me it hurts the most. But all people did not hesitate to tweet it at me. Here's Alexander Kerfoot scoring on his own team.
Nylander and Engvall check in. Josh Bailey's on the ice, and Bailey's got it side of the net, and it goes in. It looked like Kerfoot may have been an own goal there, trying to clear it from the front of the net.
Absolutely. This is one where Jack Campbell's just got his paddle down and trying to stop Bailey from making a pass, but it never really goes anywhere. Kind of a delayed play as it goes through. I watch the pucks right there. Kerfoot tries to get to the stick of Bailey, and he hits the stick and knocks it right in. I thought for a second maybe Campbell got his stick caught as well, as he didn't really move it all that quickly after it hit right here. And just a knee-jerk reaction as Kerfoot trying to push it back into the corner off the toe of the stick.
That's, no, it's the other one. You're supposed to put it in the other one. Whatever! He set up a Leaf goal right after. But that's a dang it. For our next dangits, the following is a demonstration of the downfalls of wearing all black equipment. More specifically, wearing an entire uniform that is the same color as the puck.
Recovery after he was beat going to the net. Here's a shot. Elliott the save, rebound, and we have a goal. Josh Morrissey on the doorstep, giving the Jets yet another lead. It's 3-2. Well, I mentioned in the first period I didn't think Elliott was very sharp, and this is not a good goal by him. As it's a 2-on-2 rush chance, no harm there, but you'll see right in the middle of your screen. Here comes Morrissey left all alone, but Elliott misplays this puck completely from the bad angle. And Appleton will just throw it across. Lowry just puts it towards the net in a bad angle, and Elliott has no idea where it is, and Morrissey, who's left all alone.
No, Brian, no. Jets take it on the Tampa Bay Lightning. Brian Elliott makes a save, and if he just left it there, he would have been fine. But instead, he lifts his leg to say, I found it! But the problem is once he found it, everyone else found it. And it was a goal against the Lightning. My friend, that's a dang it. That wasn't even the last dang it from this game. How the turntables. Here's Corey Perry doing Corey Perry things.
Jets are on the attack here. Morrissey taking down his opponent, Stastny. Pass to the right. Morrissey on Perry. And they're wrestling.
Perry's going to draw the penalty here. A smart veteran move as Morrissey loses it. And now we got some more stuff going on as the Jets are not taking too kindly. And just me, he says, yeah, it'll be just you.
Side of your screen, he gets hit first of all by DeMello. That could have been an interference call. Now watch him get up, and then Morrissey's going to run right into him too and knock him down, and his stick goes flying. Now watch what Perry does afterwards. Well, you knocked me down. That should be a penalty. You're not going to get a penalty. I see the referee's hand's not up, so you're not going to have a stick either. So Morrissey started to skate away, but he realized, okay, I got to have my stick too. So he gets a piece of Corey Perry, and look at the replay. That is
vintage. You might look at him scoring 50 goals in a season and winning the Hart Trophy is vintage, but no. This is vintage Corey Perry. That and getting beaten up by Pavel Datsyuk. On this play, Corey Perry gets hit by Josh Morrissey of the Winnipeg Jets, and if it ended there, it would have been normal. But then Corey Perry rips Morrissey's stick right out of his hand, which you're not allowed to do. Now, it's only not allowed if the ref sees it. And listen, I'm not an NHL official, but I can confidently say every moment you are sharing an ice surface with Corey Perry and you're not looking at him, you're doing a bad job. But he steals Josh Morrissey's stick, and Morrissey, hilariously, wrestles him to the ice, which I'm also positive you can't do. And as a result, Perry suckers Morrissey into taking a penalty. Okay, the refs need to know Corey Perry's reputation, but so do the players he's playing against. If Corey Perry was a country, one of his top exports would be retaliation penalties. In a relatively close game, in the third period no less, that's a dang it. For our next dang it, we are going to use it. Producer Drew said we can use it. Are you going to do the blurry thing? You should do the blurry thing. Wow, Producer Drew, I didn't think we were going to be able to show you this, but maybe we can only show you some of it. Here's Ryan Hartman flipping the bird to Evander Kane.
And we'll see how that develops as this game.
Now, this is a hat pick and a dang it all at once. So Ryan Hartman flips a rude gesture to Evander Kane, which you're not allowed to do. That's a fine. It's an automatic fine every time. If they had simply resorted to punching each other in the face, there would have been no fine. In fact, it would have been fine. The English language is confusing. Now, if that's where it ended, it could have been a dang it, but we sort of turned this into a hat pick there, hockey world, because fans who like Ryan Hartman and don't like Evander Kane raised $20,000 to pay Hartman's fine, which he super does not need. So here's where the hat pick comes in. Ryan Hartman decided to donate all the money to a children's hospital. And that is going to benefit countless children, and it is a selfless gesture. Just don't ask how they got the money. That is a dang it that turned into a hat pick. For our next dang it, here's Jamie Benn joining the Edmonton Oilers.
5 hits combined between these two teams in this game tonight. This is the best one so far. It's just a good clean hit by Darnell Nurse for Jamie Benn. He's in a bad position, flies over the bench, and lands right in the lap of Connor McDavid, who helps him up. But you love to see that, all smiles afterwards. Know where you're going to go when you're ridden off like that. Darnell Nurse, perfect timing to be there on Jamie Benn, and sends him flying.
Even Jay Woodcroft was taking shelter there.
Yeah. Get out of the...
Okay, first of all, Connor McDavid getting right up in Jamie Benn's face after Darnell Nurse blasts him into the Oilers bench. Second of all, I want someone to adopt this rule. If we want maximum chaos, if we want the most fun possible, I want silly rules. And my silly rule is, if you get hit into the opposing team's bench for the rest of the game, You have to play for that team. So for the rest of the game, Jamie Benn should have been on the Edmonton Oilers. Not even the rest of the game. His contract converts over, and it doesn't count against the cap. No, wait, it does. You want maximum chaos or not? Anyway, big hit, big result. That's a dang it. Our next dang it is one of the most mystifying things I've ever seen. Here's a ref confirming everything that we've always known. They love the Boston Bruins.
Lazar. The referee kicks it to Riley. Wow.
What? Why? The Sens are going for a puck in the offensive zone, in the Bruins zone. They are going to get it, more likely than not. And the ref, who the puck hits, kicks it out of the way. Now you could say, well, Curtis Lazar went to ring the puck around the boards and it hit the ref, and so he was just kicking the puck to where it was going to go. That is extraordinarily not how this works. NHL officials at any level do their best to stay out of the play, to get out of the player's way, and to not touch the puck. But sometimes, unfortunately, it happens. It just happens. You can't prevent it from happening. If we're going to have officials on the ice surface, eventually they're going to get hit by a puck. So the rule is they're just part of the play. There are certain exceptions to the rule that we've featured on Steve's Dangits before, like for example when the puck goes directly off a ref and into the net. This is just a ref directly kicking the puck to the Bruins. Now listen, I can sympathize with a human being temporarily losing their mind. Like for example, you ever go to make a bowl of cereal and then you put the milk in the cupboard? And my wife opens the cupboard after hopefully only a few minutes and not several hours and says, "Steve, what's wrong with you?" And I have to humbly reply, "My love, I don't know." It's okay. Like, I don't even know if it's that crazy that the ref did it. The things are happening very fast. I do find it very suspicious that his instinct was to kick it directly to the Bruins, but I can sympathize with temporarily losing your mind. However, there has to be something to rectify this, but there wasn't. The play just kind of continued. This game was 3-2 in the third period. There are playoff spots at stake here. Not so much for the Bruins and not so much for the Sens, but ranking, that play cannot continue. No way. You gotta blow that thing dead, and I'll hear an argument that the faceoff either has to be in the Bruins zone or just outside the blue line or even at center ice. But I know that play can't continue. Wherever you have that face-off, that play has to stop. And the rule needs to be, I'm sorry, I temporarily forgot where I was. You ever see that baseball pitcher who pulled down his pants on the mound? You ever get out of your car without turning it off? People forget what they're doing sometimes, but imagine the Bruins take the puck the other way, score, and tie the game. Dude, that play cannot continue. That's a dang it. Now, you might think that that's the funniest thing you've seen all week, and I'm here to tell you it's not. Here's Vegas Golden Knights defenseman Braden McNabb losing a skate blade, and then he has to defend a 2-on-1.
And Braden McNabb, the Davidson Saskatchewan native back to it, but they can't clear hand and put it in front. That's off the skate. McNabb got back to kick it away, and then it knocked the blade out of his skate, so he's having trouble getting back to the bench. As the Blades might be able to take advantage. It's a 2-on-0 opportunity. McNabb on one skate. Montepotti stopped by Thompson. Wow, you don't see that very often. Now McNabb's being dragged to the bench like he's being towed by a tow truck, and here comes Gaudreau down the wing. In front with a pass, and that's wide of the goal.
As soon as he lost the blade right there, and now he's trying to get back. All of a sudden, he has no idea what to do. Then he looks up. Oh no, it's a 2-on-0. So watch him try and do the brave thing and block it. That shot just throws himself desperately at Mangiapane, and then Stevenson comes in. Pietrangelo, by the way, jumped on a little bit early, but he got away with it.
You ever try your hardest? Like, that feels like a wacky scene written into a sequel for Happy Gilmore. But it happened in real life in an NHL game that could potentially be a playoff preview. Flames take a shot, Braden McNabb blocks it with his skate blade comes off. Now, every player in the NHL, they know how to skate like they know how to breathe. It's just natural to them. Part of me loves when these plays happen because you see these players whose skating comes to so naturally go, all right, now what do I do? All right, let's go through our options. I can just sit here. All right, that's not an option. Okay, I know, I'll get off the ice. All right, how do I do that? Okay, I guess I'll just
Crawl? Aw shucks, one of the best teams in the NHL has a 2-on-1, and I'm the one. What should I do? Let's go through our options. Skate and cut one of them off? No. Maybe I'll poke check it? No. I know. Why don't I throw my face at the puck? Dude, that dang it was almost a boy. And we don't do those. We don't make videos for those. It's just dang it. Somehow, the Flames don't score on that. And then how does McNabb end up getting back to the bench? You guessed it. He basically kneeboards back to the Vegas Golden Knights bench, and Chandler Stevenson is the boat. Please, more of this slapstick ridiculousness. That's a dang it. 2 dangits to go, and our second last one is a doozy. You know, if you're a goaltender, tend the goal. Well, if you're a player, play! Here's the New York Islanders leaving Sidney Crosby and Jake Gensel on a 2-on-0 because of the worst line change in human history.
That roll away, Dobson, also for Prince Edward Island, picks up speed through center. Turnover, Gensel 2-on-0 with Crosby. The pass, Gensel, Crosby, he scores! There's the magic again. Gensel, Crosby, and it's 4-1.
Well, a couple of PEI guys got caught on an island by themselves. And then it was just Crosby and Malkin. And Sorokin played it perfectly. He went post to post with his skates. Watch Sorokin. Great push. Crosby, there was no room there and he put it in. What a shot. Right over the glove. Off the shoulder, Super Mo.
What did you learn? Man, the New York Islanders, arguably, over the past 2 seasons, the shortened seasons, the 70-game and the 56-game season, arguably, they've been the second best team in hockey. The Tampa Bay Lightning, obviously the best on account of they won both of those Stanley Cups, but the Islanders played Tampa both years. It took 6 games and then 7 games to eliminate them. This year, they had to start, like, for an eternity on the road while their new home arena was getting fixed and built. And since getting their home arena, they've actually been much better, and they've been improving as the season has gone on. This right here is not a good example of that. Ilya Sorokin is one of the better, most underrated goalies in the NHL, but even he, staring down Jake Gensel and Sidney Crosby, had to be like, this here looks like a dang it. They scored. He almost got it, though. Last but not least, here's the Islanders on an even worse play. The Islanders gave up a 2-on-0. Here's the Montreal Canadiens giving up a 3-on-0. Oh, it's okay. It wasn't in a special game, though. It was just in Carey Price's return as he's currently, at the time of the 3-on-0, pitching a shutout.
Moves away from Barzal. Parisi closed him off. Now Dobson intercepts the puck, but he gets pinned along the corner. Armia, slot, shoot him in. Coughed it up, and Parisi, he's off to the races with Bellows and Barzal. Parisi, Barzal, Parisi scores! Boy, Matt Barzal traveled a long way to make himself an option for Parisi, who gets it back and scores his 4th goal in the last 3 games.
Well, an opportunity on one side leads to an opportunity on the other. And again, you talk about a 50-50 puck, the ability to get that right off the face-off. Armia drives the net, but Sorokin holds the fort. And then the block shot, it leads to a 3-on-0. And you're watching this, and Barzal comes to the middle of the ice. He's available. He looks off, almost looks like he's going to shoot, pumps a little bit, and back to Parisi. We've talked about the chemistry at the beginning of the game between these 2 athletes. And Barzal leaving a wide open net for Parise.
Dude, poor Carey Price. He finally gets back on the ice. He's obviously loving it, and he had to just be like, I see I'm playing behind the regular season Habs. You could argue that Carey Price's return to playing in the National Hockey League is one of the best feel-good stories in the NHL this season. Him getting a shutout in this game, it's the 3rd period in this game. Him getting a shutout would have been the stuff of legend, and it was ruined because of a 3-on-0. That's a dang it. So, what did you think? Did we miss any? Leave a comment in the comment box down below. But for now, that is it for this one. Thank you very much for watching. Click like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. Tell all your friends. You think that clip of the ref kicking the puck to the Bruins is going to get used in the playoffs all the time? Probably not. It might. Probably not. It might.
Steve Dangle here on Watch a Leafs Game with Steve Dangle. You're on the Sportsnet YouTube channel. Click like, click subscribe, tell all your friends, tell your dog. Tell them. They're right there. Tell them. Yes, you. Tell them. How'd they react? Was it positive? Tell your cat. Don't bother your fish. You don't need to bother your fish. I want them to watch too, but you don't need to bother your fish. That's enough. They put up with you enough. Anyway, the Leafs were up 2-0 on the Florida Panthers. They are not anymore. It is a 2-2 game. Stop me if you've heard this before. Florida Panthers come back against the Toronto Maple Leafs. Yeah. Well, it wasn't a 5-1 lead that got blown. 2-0. Far more manageable. But here's the thing. Leafs win the first period. 2-0. Panthers win the second period. 2-0. Third period. We shall see. Leafs down Michael Bunting. He left the game after taking a puck to the face. I don't know if it was ever confirmed if that was why. William Nylander in a race there with Radko Gudas. The Leafs are going to... They do get the puck. They come up with it. So it looks like the new look top line, unless the Leafs were to get a lead and they had to defend it, I would imagine, is... Oh, I thought there was a whistle there. There was not. It's going to be Matthews, Marner, Nylander in absence of Bunting. Ilya McCabe is an option again. He actually finished the second period. And if you're just tuning in, you're like, oh, what happened to Ilya McCabe? Was he hurt? No. He just got into his first career fight with Sam Bennett. Yes, Sam Bennett. Go look at Sam Bennett's fight card. Nothing about that is a smart idea, especially for a dude who's never fought before with a surgically repaired wrist. But you do you, Ilya. He's a feisty cobra.
Stop dreaming and start pitching. Dragons Den looking
get you.
with big ideas. This is the last chance to apply for next season. Go to CBC.
McCabe Cobra. It'll get you.
Dragons Den /auditions.
Camp having a weird night. Feels like he's ready to bust out. Justin Hall, by the way, got the Leafs' second goal. For those of you just tuning in. His third of the season. A career high. Snipe. That dude has an overtime winner in the National Hockey League. And it's a career high. I love it. That was against the Sens, wasn't it? Remember Uncorked? Oh, yeah. I got a great shot. I got to use it more. Followed by him not doing that. Like at all.
To center, off the stick of Reinhart. Lucas Carlson. And now Brody and Hall regroup it for Toronto. Just get rid of it to center. And it's been a little more cautious here to start the third. Here's a chance.
Oh! A fortuitous bounce for the Panthers. Almost ends up in a goal. And they're not done.
And suddenly Florida applying pressure. Lundell bounces it to the far side. Reinhart takes over. Mammon goes to the front of the net.
Panthers really working it around on the Leafs. This is desperate. We're barely 2 minutes into this period, and Jack Campbell with the glove again. That glove has been working. And the fourth line continues their hot and cold game.
It creates a quick chance in front, and Campbell was a little late getting to that shot.
Well, I said fourth line because Clifford was out there.
Last second was able to get down, and this one through traffic in front.
Really, I guess we shouldn't pay too much attention to who's on what line on account of the Leafs losing one guy. Kind of screws up everything. One guy in the top line, I should say. Yeah, NHL lineups are the opposite of Jenga.
In January of 2020.
The further down the lineup, the easier it is to fix. William Nylander with a wraparound. He still has the puck. What a pass to Matthews. Matthews has been buzzing.
In behind the net, and it will come around from
he had a really good first period. Not as visible in the second. I don't expect that to continue in the third.
Up ahead for Barkov past him and icing against Florida.
Leafs get an icing call.
loss when they were beaten 8-4 by the Panthers here in Florida. The Leafs stayed
Drew looking tired.
did not stay at the beach.
William Nylander going for a wee skate.
I think they've responded in a way that Sheldon Keefe would be pleased with. There's
Oh, Marner. So close to getting a piece of that.
There's an early shift for that top line, trying to get the cycle down low and open up some ice in the high slot for 34.
3 minutes into the third, Simmons gets it to Tavares, who tried to pivot against Gudas, who knocked him off stride.
Wayne Simmons getting a little opportunity up there on the second line with Kerfoot and Tavares. You're going to see all kinds of weird crap for the rest of the game, Leaf fans. That's not even that weird. I know Simmons has been in and out of the lineup for the Leafs, but he has played in their top six before. Is that a penalty? Please say no. Feels like Simmons. No, okay, it's not a penalty. Simmons got his stick confiscated more than it's a penalty.
Just keeping his stick without trying to put any pressure.
Yanked out of his hands accidentally on purpose, I'm sure.
David Camp comes away with the puck. Here comes Engvall.
At least break it out.
Scooping it in and
Oh, Engvall. Almost a sneaky little pass there behind the Panthers defenders to McCabe. I love those two together. You rarely see them together anymore these days, but I love them together. They've both had such improved seasons, and McCabe almost burying one there. Engvall couldn't capitalize on the rebound, and neither could McCabe.
his 20th of the year. Hall up at center. Nylander's just come on. Flips it down the ice, and Montour back. Sam Bennett looks up ice. The former Kingston Frontenac through center. Here's Bennett over the line. Mammon goes to the net. And couldn't reach the redirect from Bennett.
The Leafs have done a fairly decent job this game not getting caught. And there's... What on earth is going on here? I got confused because the top line had a breakout and the player charging towards the net was Ilya Lyubushkin. That dude got one goal and he wants more. Ooh, Tavares with a bit of an awkward tumble there. Please tell me he's okay. He's okay. He's fine. I'm choosing to believe he's fine.
You know, you saw Uyghur for a second thinking that he was going to go behind the net. Instead, take it to the front, attack when you can, and hope that you get a rebound chance.
Leafs offensive zone draw. William Nylander off the faceoff. Quick stop from Bobrovsky.
Nylander, the shot right on.
JackpotCity.net. Casino games perfectly made for you.
By the way, chat. Leave a comment in the chat.
Matthews digs in on another
And when we have time, I might answer some. But right now, the Leafs top line is on the ice looking to get the lead in the third period. A little over 5 minutes gone. This has been an action-packed third so far. Leafs with an opportunity there. Giordano and Liljegren out there. Whoa! Oh! How didn't that go in? How didn't either of Matthews or Marner score? Oh! Oh, golden opportunity for the Leafs to take the lead, and the Panthers dodge a bullet. But here they come again. Leafs over the blue line. Kerfoot looking for a nasty little toe drag. Didn't quite get it.
6 minutes here in the third. Who breaks the 2-2 tie? Morgan Riley to work. Riley with a breakaway.
Riley flips it in. Kerfoot. Oh boy, that's going to draw a crowd. Poking at Bobrovsky and running into him. And the Panthers are not going to like that. I wonder why.
Well, no change here for the Florida Panthers because Bobrovsky didn't play that. Here's the play. Good puck movement off of the lost draw. They won the battle, and there, Marchment got a little
Oh, the Leafs coming so close there. Marner, Matthews. Oh, how doesn't that go in?
Just a little bit back. Here's the
dogged defense from the Florida Panthers. Gudas probably double upset thinking he got slashed there. Kerfoot's lucky that wasn't worse for him. In the playoffs, Gudas is going to bench press the earth downward into Kerfoot's spine. But it's a regular season, so he decided to be friendly. Leafs win the faceoff in the O zone. Big line out there again. Someone took a tumble there in the Florida zone behind the play. And the Panthers break out. And they'll get a good opportunity here. But the puck goes high and into the crowd. Action-packed third period. It's amazing we found enough time to take a break. But we're going to. Watch the Leafs game with Steve Dangle. I'm Steve Dangle. Click like, click subscribe. Tell all your friends, and don't go away. Watch a Leafs game with Steve Dangle. I'm Steve Dangle. Click like, click subscribe, tell all your friends. Now this is producer Rob's favorite part of the night. I have 10 seconds to grab something in my room and tell a story about it. I only need no seconds because I already have my thing. Because I was prepared. I wasn't going to talk about anything other than this. If any of you have those McFarlane figures, or I think Imports Dragon makes them now. Someone from Pittsburgh, Ben Dawson, sent me this. It is a Steve Dangle Glynn figure. Now, obviously, they took a pre-existing figure, I don't know which one, and painted it. So there I am. They got me in my Easter Seals All-Stars uniform. Oh! And the story behind that is every year, in Whitby, I play at the Eric Lindros Celebrity Hockey Classic, raising money for Easter Seals, which is a charity that helps out kids with physical disabilities. And that is from a year where I was the top individual fundraiser and my team was the top fundraising team. So we got the cup. And so I took it for a little skate after the All-Star game. And they made a figure to commemorate it. The Leafs' third line having a great little shift there. As with 7 minutes to go here in the third, shots 27-27, score 2-2. Got a pretty good Atlantic Division battle going on. Oh! How? The Leafs should, honest to goodness, be up 5-2, right? The Marner-Matthews goal, oh, lack thereof. That one going off the posts. Goodness gracious. The Panthers haven't been slouches. Don't get me wrong, but the Leafs have had many opportunities tonight. Bobrovsky's been sharp as well, but then just getting unlucky, not being able to tap it home. Also remembering that Justin Hall made a leg save on, who is it, Barkov? Or Huberdeau? It was Huberdeau, who has been active again tonight. You might be surprised to find out. And there's Jack Campbell with that glove again. It's been good tonight. 12 and a half minutes to go here in the third period.
Canada's biggest night of music, the Junos, live from Toronto, Sunday, May 15th on CBC and CBC Gem.
Well, Jack Campbell sat on the bench and watched the
Campbell's been
Tampa
sharp.
Bay Lightning put 8 in against his
On the road,
I think
12,
he's been
4,
excellent here
and
tonight.
4.
He's looked very sharp. He's tracking it well, and we talk a lot about body language with him.
This is a
And
good
right
record.
now, it's been a confident night, and he's done his part.
The conversation around Leafs goaltending is fascinating. Because they've won so many games this season. They've been so good. And you look at the goaltending numbers and you go, man, if only they had better goaltending. But why can't we focus on the fact that they're still winning those games? They're winning those games.
The auditions continue on the back end. You know, obviously, if Jake Muzzin is able to play.
Now, Campbell played at all-star level, basically in November. And the Leafs almost literally did not lose. They won 14 out of 16, but those stretches, they don't last generally. The cold spells rarely last, and the heaters rarely last. You know who was getting traded out of town in Colorado only a few months ago? Darcy Kemper. Oh, what are the Avalanche going to do to shore up their goaltending? Like, they just gave up a king's ransom for the guy. And now you look at him, guy can't lose. Cannot lose. He can lose, but you know what I mean. Bob! Ah! Give me a dangits! No, not you. Gotta be careful with those. There have already been enough dangits in this game. I don't know if we're gonna use them. Producer Drew is a stickler for the quality of the dangits, the threshold of what is and isn't a dangit or a hat pick. He's of the mindset, Drew can correct me if I'm wrong, but he's of the mindset that a between the legs goal is not an automatic hat pick anymore. I don't think he's wrong. Dude, they happen all the time now. Depth players are doing them. No disrespect to Tyler Mott, but you look at all the players on the Canucks. I say, hey, one of them scored a between the legs goal. Who do you think it was? You weren't coming up with Tyler Mott. As the Leafs draw an icing out of the Florida Panthers, just under 11 minutes to go here in the third. Both these teams taking time with this third period. There have been long stretches without any whistles in this game, but this third period is not one of them. This is a trek through the mud, which, funny enough, is how the playoffs work. Leafs big line out there again. Matthews losing the draw. Liljegren and Giordano, I've noticed. Oh, Matthews with Marner. Oh, man. Marner waiting quite a while to send that over. But they still got it. Marner shrugging off the Florida Panthers. They're scrambling a bit. He gets it to the point. Bang! Leafs still have it. Liljegren. Bang! Rebound! Oh, and Matthews so close to getting his 59th. He has been buzzing all night. Oh, Bob not looking the most comfortable after that. And with 10:22 to go, yet another whistle. Let's take another look at this. Radko Gudas getting a lot of face time tonight. Matthews strong in the slot. Oh, how doesn't that go in?
To get that backhand that had a chance to slide underneath. I think Forsling had just enough of his stick that he couldn't get the velocity on that he
They're
needed
playing
to
well, eh?
the goaltender.
Leafs are playing really well. But the Florida Panthers can change a game in a moment, and they almost did there, almost getting the break. Sending Anthony Duclair deep. Riley comes up with it, and Ilya McCabe. Oh, what a play. If this turns into something. Takes a hit to make a play. He's still in there. Leafs have done a great job holding on to the puck in the offensive, deep in the offensive zone. But the Panthers again break it out. The Leafs have done a really good job along the boards. against the Panthers tonight.
Both teams making changes.
Kind of wonder how much better it would be if they had a guy like Michael Bunting in the lineup, if that's the game plan. Sort of feels like he might have been important to said game plan. Guy in the first line, important? Dangle, you're crazy. Campbell with the save, rebound! The Leafs clear it from the front, but they got to get it out of the zone, and they can't. Ilya Lyubushkin.
Good stick by Jack Campbell.
David Kampf with it now.
And now Hall will point the Leafs in the right direction.
Hall skates it out, and he'll get it deep. That's a good little skate from Hall. Oh, and the Panthers flub it! Oh, I don't know about that shot. David Kampf.
Of the third.
Exciting third period, and it's going to continue after this break. Watch a Leafs game with Steve Dangle. I'm Steve Dangle. Click like, click subscribe. Tell all your friends. We'll be right back. Watch the Leafs game with Steve Dangle. I'm Steve Dangle. It'd be weird if I wasn't. Click like, click subscribe, tell all your friends. We got a very exciting game here in Sunrise, Florida, where the sun rises. Fun fact, it is the only place in North America where the sun rises. That is true. Google it. Leafs 2, Panthers 2. Leafs once led this game 2-0. The Panthers said, well, that's dumb. We're the Florida Panthers. And they came back and tied it. But holy cow, to begin this third period, the rubber match of the game, if you will, it's difficult to argue that the Leafs haven't looked like the better team. They've been getting lots of chances. Jack Campbell has had to be sharp as well. No game against a team as good as the Florida Panthers is going to come easy, but the Leafs coming oh so close. And if the Leafs don't come out of this game with 2 points, there are going to be a number of moments from this game, especially the third period, where you'll be able to say the Leafs had the game on their stick there. The Leafs can't clear the zone there. Panthers coming in. That's Barkov. That's dangerous. Oh, and the Leafs managed to clear the slot there, but they got to settle this down. And Matthews does. He gets it out to Nylander, who has Marner with him. And the Panthers break it up. Gudis gets it up the boards, and now here come the Panthers. You don't want to play fire wagon hockey with this team. I know the Leafs are good. Panthers are extremely good at chaos, though. As the Leafs, you see, calming it down. Calming it down. The Leafs are skilled and the Leafs are offensive. That does not mean they necessarily want to play fire wagon hockey. Generally speaking, I think the Leafs play better when the game is less chaotic. Ooh, that's a poor line change. Huberdeau trying to take advantage, and he can't. Leafs break it out. The two tallest guys. Oh, McCabe. His second tap-in miss of the game. Engvall sent it over. He couldn't handle it. Here come the Panthers now. That's Ben Sherrod, I believe. Anyway, the Leafs do better with structure is what I'm trying to say. Tavares has a man. Ah! And again, the Leafs can't capitalize. They've had so many close calls in this third period. How are there over 7 minutes to go in regulation? My goodness. Here come the Panthers in the slot. If that pass gets across, it's a good chance. Leafs break it out again. Oh! David Camp. Stopped by Sergei Bobrovsky. Both goaltenders so sharp in this game. Bob has probably had the tougher job of it. Jack Campbell equal to the task as well. This moment was chaos right here. Mitch Marner diving and probably saving a goal. Nylander gets it to Marner. Had to handle it way too far behind him. Matthews and Nylander almost tripping over each other. Nylander giving him the little poke. Matthews getting in there. Holy! Holy! Just under 7 minutes to go. Who's not having fun? New makeshift third line out there. Camp on the wing. Blackwell. And I believe that was Kerfoot. Again, if you're just joining in, Michael Bunting left this game in the first period. It's believed he took a puck to the face, and that's why he left. So the Leafs lines have been in chaos since. Panthers with a shot. Campbell stops it, but the Panthers hold on to it. I have not been able to look at your questions because everything has just been going banana sandwich. Leafs trying to keep men out of the slot. Panthers did such a good job of that the last time these two teams met. Leafs have been doing a much better job clearing bodies tonight. Whew!
Show it all with video call with Rogers.
Again, I don't want to get ahead of myself.
Canada's largest and most reliable 5G
Leafs might have to play the Lightning in the first round. They might have to play the Bruins in the first round. Both of those options suck. But you can't tell me those series wouldn't be entertaining. And if the Leafs were to come out of it, who's waiting for them in the second round? Could be these guys. Life's not fair. I'm not sure who told you it was, but they lied to you. Leafs could win a playoff round for the first time since 2004 and have to go through Tampa and the Panthers to do it. And then they'll play Boston in the third or something. Engvall, great move. Here come the Leafs. Oh, stopped again. Bobrovsky's so sharp. Stopping John Tavares on that one, and not for the first time tonight. Leafs sniffing. Sniffing for that goal all night. Oh, Bob is barely even trying to make that save. He's going for the poke check. And John Tavares is stopped. Woo! Watch a Leafs game with Steve Dangle. I'm Steve Dangle. Click like, click subscribe. Tell all your friends. I'm pulling up Twitter so that I can retweet myself. Because earlier I tweeted about this stream, and I would hate for people to miss out on it. What a carnival. Isn't hockey great? Hockey's a lot of fun. Woo! Earlier tonight, I was going to bring up a fun stat because the Leafs lost 8-1 against the Tampa Bay Lightning in a game that was 0-0 after one. My favorite stat from last week, the Arizona Coyotes scored 30 seconds into their game against the Calgary Flames. Nick Ritchie scored it. I believe that Jack McBain, I think he got his first NHL point with an assist on that goal. After one, it was still 1-0 Coyotes. Coyotes lost that game 9-1. Coyotes had another fun one yesterday. Boko Imama playing in his first NHL game. Tough guy, getting called up from the AHL. He was second on the Coyotes and on either team in hits in the entire game with 5. He played 4 minutes and 4 seconds. He hits. He hits. Imagine if you doubled his ice time to 8:08. You'd have 10. It's exponentially. You'd have 25 or however exponents work. It's amazing how quickly you forget that stuff after high school. Do you remember how to long divide? I don't. Leafs with the offensive zone draw in the Florida Panthers zone, and they lose it.
Willigren reverses it. Now it's Riley out to center for Nylander.
Top line out there.
Dance in with Matthews and Marner.
the hopes and dreams line, whatever you want to call it, of Willie, Marner, and Matthews. Matthews has been a big body presence in front of the Florida Panthers net, and you gotta wonder what's going on there. He missed the last few games with injury. He doesn't look like he's lost a step. He doesn't look like he's lost a gosh darn thing. 5 minutes and 20 seconds left in the third period here. Shots 34-31. This game started with, I think it was 4 shots from both teams combined, all of them coming from the Leafs in the first 8 minutes. And all of a sudden we're up to 65 shots.
11 goals against in their last 7.
That concerned look you saw me give the camera was me trying to make sure if 34 plus 31 equals 65, which it does. Forgot long division, but not that. Forgot at least that much. Hi, Mom and Dad, who I think are watching. They were last week. Panthers breaking it out. Hall's going to get beat in this race. Jack Campbell was way out of his net, but he knew he had that luxury. Less than 5 minutes to go here. Still 2-2 in Florida. Be great for the Leafs to get a point here because Tampa is crushing the Nashville Predators tonight. Crushing. 2 points, but obviously be better than 1. But if it goes to overtime, you obviously start with the 1. 4:20 to go.
Mark Giordano takes his time. Watch there by Achari. And that's going to...
Leafs ice the puck there with an errant pass. 4:08 to go in the third period. Jonathan Huberdeau has been a monster. It's amazing watching these guys completely wreck shop. Because I covered Jonathan Huberdeau when he was with the St. John Sea Dogs. Whoa! I think that was Giordano getting dumped from behind, but he gets back up. 4 minutes to go. Sea Dogs won the Memorial Cup, as well as the QMJHL Championship that year. That was in Mississauga.
And now Ryan Lundberg, or excuse me, Achari takes over. Here's Camp playing it to a little open space for Engvall.
3:40 to go.
Engvall makes move through center, kicks it back.
Engvall going 1-on-5. I love it.
Change behind him.
And he loses the puck. No, but the Leafs hold the zone. This is going to be huge from Engvall if they get anything. Ow! Just tipped wide by Montour. Leafs still applying tons of pressure in the Panther zone. 3:16 to go. Can I get a hell yeah? By the way, in overtime, I get a beer. I run off camera and I get a beer. Those are the rules. I don't make the rules. Oh, wait, yes, I do. We decided that in the playoffs. Game goes to overtime. I get a beer. Matthews sets up Nylander, who coughs it up, and the Panthers take it the other way. Puck goes into the corner. Babushkin goes in kind of funny. He's okay, though. Errant pass. Is that going to count as a tip? No, it is not. Icing called. Panthers get an ozone face-off deep into this third period here. Engvall, that was such a good little rush there. Babushkin, who I swear is going to score the Stanley Cup winning goal this year. He's going for it. I would love to see Austin Matthews get the game-winning goal here. 1, because he's trying to get 60 goals. But 2, how good has he been in this game? And he still hasn't found a way to bury one. Another icing, 2:22 to go.
Yeah, and Labushkin, he's a minute 10 right now, and he knew it as soon as he missed that pass. You see,
I'm afraid to say it.
Give him a little tap. Don't worry, you got to
I'm afraid to say it.
From your memory bank, and now just focus on what
one of the producers.
This draw is another opportunity.
Do I say it?
And an offensive zone face-off.
I'm going to say it. Producer Luis said that the Leafs are going to win 3-2. This is before the game. Producer Luis said the Leafs were going to win this game 3-2 with a goal in the final 2 minutes. He said that. I have witnesses. So we will see. Under 2 minutes to go here. Louise, this is your time to shine. Leafs doing a good job keeping the puck from the slot there. Justin Hall getting messed with. He had the ref in his way. Someone tipped his helmet over his eyes, but they escaped. Ely and McCabe applying pressure. Panthers get out of their own zone and they'll ring it around. Hall can't clear it. Don't let the puck go in front. Leafs have done a very good job of that all night. No one picks it up. But they'll get out of their own zone. Here comes Engvall. He did such a great job in his last shift. Trying to continue with this shift.
Panthers start to change as it's drifted in by Forsling.
Panthers getting it real deep. Going for big movement here. And the Leafs settling it down. This has been the theme. Blackwell chipping it in. He's gotten a little bump in ice time tonight with the absence of Michael Bunting, filling in on the third line as William Nylander has moved up. Under a minute to go in regulation here in Sunrise, Florida. 2 for the Leafs, 2 for the Panthers, and the Leafs getting an icing call there. I'm a bit surprised, not going to lie. You see what I mean in the corner there? All of that's a penalty. For Hall, for the other guy, all of it. 43.4 seconds to go here in the third. Shots 35-32 in favor of the Leafs. The score is 2-2. Marner works it to the point. Lyubushkin, who I swear wants to win the Rocket by himself. Marner blasts it on, and it rings around, and that'll leave the zone. The Leafs have to get back on side. Under 30 seconds to go here. A 2-point conversion would be huge.
Stopped up by Lyubushkin. Played out by Tavares. At the line, Reinhart couldn't reach it. It'll be Sherratt from long range.
Jack Campbell hits it into the corner. And it looks like both teams will play for the point. 5, 4, 3. Oh! Shoot! And this game is going to overtime. I'm getting a beer.
2-2 through 60 minutes between these two Atlantic Division rivals.
I'm back. Watch the Leafs game with Steve Dangle. I'm Steve Dangle. Click like, click subscribe. Tell all your friends. This game is going to overtime, which means that's right. That is absolutely right. Oh, and you know what I get to feature? I get to pour my beer. I don't have a red Solo cup. No. Don't have a red Solo cup. But you know what I do have? Uh-oh. Not a very good pour, my boy. First beer. Coming to a store near you. That's a dangit. Shop sportsnet.store. I don't believe these are available just yet. But when they are, I will let you know. Are you ready for overtime? I know I am. That's one of those silly things that seems like a good idea, and it turns out it's not. See, the overtime beer made so much more sense when intermission, like we came up with this rule in the playoffs. So we're talking a 15-minute intermission. Overtime is continuous until there's a goal. There's no shootout. There's no 5-minute limit. There's no 3-on-3. So we've had overtimes a few times this season. And I usually find myself with about 80% of a beer left over. So
Matthews and Marner, Barkov.
I'm not slamming it on camera.
Took Barkov 20 seconds the last
professional.
to score in overtime.
Also, my days of doing that are over.
Opening face off to Florida. Mackenzie Weegar.
Oh my gosh! Panthers instant breakaway. And Jack Campbell, huge save, but the Panthers still have it. Boy, not the start to overtime you want. How does that even happen? Mackenzie Weegar with the breakaway. Like 2 seconds in? And the Leafs are totally flat-footed right now. The Panthers are moving around. This is not good. This is not how you want to spend the first shift of your top line. Matthews trying to bounce it out to Marner. He had an opportunity, but he was cut off there by Huberdeau. And the Leafs will maybe attempt to get fresh legs out there. No, they do not. Morgan Riley's still out there. Marner almost gets caught, but now it's a 2-on-1. Marner slowing up. Oh, you should have kept going there, Mitch, as the Panthers get to him. Barkov, and now Matthews and Marner are dog-tired. They're getting off just over a minute into this overtime. Whoever thought of 3-on-3, thank you. But also, you stink. My poor heart. My cardiologist thinks you're a monster. John Tavares gets the puck. Timothy Liljegren loses it immediately. So it's Tavares, Nylander, Liljegren. Leafs just figuring it out. Panthers with that little triangle in the neutral zone as Liljegren loses it again. Leafs having an overtime with a lot to be desired here. Liljegren getting off the ice. 2 minutes gone here in this overtime. We're at 70 shots total for the game. And it's 2-2 to give you an idea of how sharp both goaltenders have been. Both Sergei Bobrovsky and Jack Campbell. Oh, boy. Panthers almost leaving it behind for John Tavares. And here he goes. Is he going to get a breakaway? I don't know if he's going to have the speed, but he's got Nylander with him. Nylander! Oh, he can't convert. Now the Leafs got to race back. Nylander falls down. This is disaster. Tavares is not going to win the race. Brody is the only man back. Jack Campbell is beaten 5-hole, and the Florida Panthers win of a goal from Brandon Montour with 2:34 to go in overtime. What a game. What a game. 3-on-3 overtime is ridiculous, preposterous, euphoria, and heartbreaking. As the Leafs open the first half of their back-to-back this weekend with an overtime loss. What a game. What a game. This is a tough one, man. If you're a Leafs fan, well, let's watch this goal first. Huberdeau, this is the beginning of overtime to Mackenzie Weegar. A spectacular save from Jack Campbell. Marner, he gave way too much respect to Barkov there. He should have just gone for it. He should have gone for it. Willie with maybe the best opportunity, but then he falls down. Watch this, behind the play, trips over John Tavares' skates, and then that's it. Mason Marchment, great pass to Brandon Montour. And Montour with just a little poke between the wickets of Jack Campbell. That was a nice goal. And Mason Marchment lighting up the Leafs with a pair of assists in this game.
3-2 the final. Here's David Amber.
Really wish Dennis Malgin had joined the Leafs for their playoff run. Well, listen, if you're a Leafs fan here, here's what you got. All right, you lost the game in overtime. You're feeling disappointed. They blew the 2-0 lead. You're feeling disappointed. 2-0 leads, especially in the first period. I mean, those die on the vine all the time in the NHL. Believe me, I get on the Leafs. I get on the Leafs for the blowing 3-1 leads in the third, 4-1 leads, 5-1 leads, 3-1 series leads. A 2-0 lead in the first period, it's not good. You don't celebrate it. It's not that it's not a big deal, but it's common. It's relatively common. So I don't get overly worked up about that. Okay, so the Leafs lost. Okay, how did they lose? Well, it was in overtime. All right. Is there 3-on-3 overtime in the playoffs? There isn't. Okay. So even though the Leafs didn't look very good in that overtime, they made a few poor defensive decisions, some little mistakes. They didn't do the greatest in the offensive zone at capitalizing. None of that applies unless both teams take 2 minors each at the same time in the playoffs. 3-on-3 is not going to be a thing. So you can remove that from your mind. Did the Leafs look good, yes or no? Did Jack Campbell look good? Yes, he did. All right. Well, I know that's a common concern of Leaf fans. He looked good. That's great news. Austin Matthews, he's been out of the lineup for the past few games. Is he going to be okay? Looked pretty good. Michael Bunting leaves the game. Well, puck to the face. Precaution before the playoffs. At least you hope that's what it is. I'm not going to call that good. I'm going to call that not a disaster. So, all in all, is it disappointing to watch the team that you cheer for lose? I mean, yeah, that's how sports work, bro. That's how it works. But is this a discouraging game? Is this an 8-1 loss to a team that you're probably going to have to play in the playoffs in 2 weeks? No, it's super not. It's a tight Saturday night matchup against a team that has proven themselves to be the standard of the Atlantic Division this year. I took nothing but good things from that game. I thought they had a good game plan. I thought they did a great job along the walls. I thought they did a great job generating opportunities. If they play like that, more often than not, they're going to score more than 2 goals. But they didn't. So they lose this one 3-2 in overtime against the Florida Panthers. That was a good little warm-up for the LFR video. So that's the last watch. That is the last Watch a Leafs game with Steve Dangle of the regular season. We will be back in the playoffs, and we will be back with steins full of beer. Now, when is the Leafs' first game of the playoffs? We don't know. This is I'm the worst friend at this time of year. Hey, Steve, can you hang out in a couple of weeks? I don't know. When are you going to know? I'm going to know like Friday night. That's the thing. We're not going to know the playoff schedule until all the Friday night games next week are done. At least I think that is the earliest they can come out, because there is a boatload of games on the Friday, and for some reason a Kraken versus Coyotes game on the Sunday. When we find out that schedule, that will be our schedule here on Watch a Leafs Game with Steve Dangle. Signing off for this regular season, I'm Steve Dangle. Click like if you liked the stream. Click subscribe if you really liked it. Tell all your friends. We'll see you in the playoffs.